Greetings, 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 TGIF everyone. Happy Friday. How are you doing? What's going on? What's happening? Another week, and let's see how you're doing. Well, according to the news, there's good news, there's bad news, there's news in between. But if you're breathing, that's good news. That's how I look at it. And I know a lot of people were surprised about the mask mandate and, well, actually the vaccine as well. But don't be surprised, everyone, because after that September 6th, I think it was, after those extra federal unemployment benefit ended, well, they had to come up with something. So your president say, hey, you're going to have to go ahead and get that shot. Just ignore what you heard, which is what everyone is concerned about. It is it is said that it doesn't help, it doesn't stop anything, but they got a big production of it. People have spent money, contracts are out there, people need to get paid, and as things continue to happen, they'll have an excuse. They'll say, "Hey, we need you to take it." And then they'll inflate the numbers. Oh, we have so many people that still didn't take it. Oh, no. But it's only for their numbers. It's only for them. It's for the economy because they cannot afford any more payouts. And what they got this Afghanistan thing going. It's just too much going on. So they got to come up with something. And they say, hey, you got to take this or else. But we know it's financial. It's always financial. Anytime you hear something, it's always a financial meaning behind it. A lot of people are saying, but he said. Well, yeah, the president said he wasn't going to force anyone, but I go back to saying it's about the money. And speaking of money, when I went out these last few days this week, there are a lot of people out now. Now the cabs are back in service. They're out there. At first, you only seen like one. I might be exaggerating a little bit, like one per hour, but it was just so few. You like, did I see any today? But yeah, they're out there. Everybody's those folks need to make some money, and they're out there. And yes, it's not as many because it's probably expensive to drive them, but they have to make some type of money. They're here, so they're going to try, that's for certain. And what else did I see? I seen a few more things. Oh, you know what happened today? I have to say this. Before I came over here, I was enjoying the stream. It was so funny. They had me holding my breath. I'm like, the guy is doing a stream, and what he's doing a winter is not coming stream. So he had first he tried it himself, but he of course he really couldn't pass for a woman's voice, but he tried. It's more like Elmo, but he did try, and he just wanted to prove the point that um, if you say you have kids and all of that, some of the men will still want to, go out with you, try to see you, whatever. And it was so interesting. And they came up with the idea to get some more ladies because they had one girl to call in, and the call was a little bit long. And she was trying. She really was trying, and she did well. And I said, "Oh darn, I'm about to go live, or else I would call too." I'm like, "That's what I want to do. I would have so much fun." Yes, I would. Because I love asking questions because no one wants to answer them. I'm like, why? But I would ask good questions just to see where a person's head is at, and it'll have been a lot of fun. So maybe, just maybe, I'll get a chance to do it next time. I don't know, but I'm gonna try. All right. So without further delay, everybody, get ready to welcome the Canadian Jamaican. We all love her so much. Classic Ruby, everybody. Classic Ruby.
Sorry, y'all. I was a little bit distracted. I'm fighting with this Insta thought in this chat room
Uh
who
oh.
decided to call me a pick me a pick me, for giving my opinion, mind you. And I just disagreed with, I guess, the guy on the panel that she's worshiping. Um, yeah, no, it's weird. Hey, listen, I'm all for anything that goes against fake and fraud, right? But I do think Allende is getting a little big for his britches a little quickly. But that's just me. But fine, he said something I disagree with. He said all women, okay, all women are empty containers, and they don't approach
Oh.
you based on shared interests, or something about your personality. They only see in you something you have that they want and need. And so they approach you to take what you have to fill up their empty container. So, like,
Oh. Okay. Uh. Yeah. So nice pillow you have there all alone, huh? Okay. All right. I don't know what that was all about. That was a bit much to say. But everyone has reasons, and they're very interesting. Well, I'll say excuses. Excuses of why they don't have anyone, and people are just getting more and more
oh, I
creative.
mean, like, come on.
They're
And
getting
y'all know,
creative.
but, bro, women are just empty vessels, okay? So none of this cap and bullshit about how shared interests and personality, okay? That's not how women are. That's not women's nature. No, he was very, very specifically talking about all women.
Yeah, that was his, and he was very, he was different. His way of explaining why he's alone was very different, wouldn't you say?
Thank you.
Yeah, so hey, you got to have some creativity. I mean, just repeating the same thing over and over again is getting, very tiresome. And speaking of
True.
that,
True.
that is, I really don't get it. Well, I do, but I don't. If you have to survive off of YouTube, that's your only means of support. I get it while you're online all the time and just saying nothing. I get that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But that is a bit much. I've even mentioned, and time and time when I see that I can't really find content that I want to share, that's when I'll say, I don't know, guys. I may not
Hmm.
be live on some Fridays. I'm sorry, because
Right.
I just refuse to just get up here and say nothing or the same thing over and over again. I'm like,
Hmm.
I don't want to say it. I don't want to hear it, and I just don't get why other people want to get it, except for the trauma bonding
Right.
experience.
Hmm.
So, hey, that everybody's different. More power to y'all.
Right. I mean, I'll never understand this. And the thing is, all you can do is, go down from where you are. Like, you just descend into this muck. And so, for him to start where he was, saying faith and fraud, hate women and whatever, he doesn't, his tactic is not to show hate to women. It's to show pity about how pathetic and empty and, lost we are without men, right? So it's totally different tactic, totally different than hating women, right? Like, I mean, no, it's not. Like, why do you think what you're doing is original? You're saying the exact same words, but you say it in the way that you pity, like a very stupid young person, you know? And it's just like,
Mm.
like, you're just, otherwise, you haven't said anything original that I have not heard 700 million people, even guys in the chat are saying that. Just kind of repeating KS. You're just kind of repeating this person. You're just kind of repeating that person. Like, dude, really?
Wow.
Look, and you got some Canadian chick on there, right? So I feel for her because she sounds a lot like me. So she must come from like the same city. And then this chick
Hmm.
who honestly English is so not her first language that they had this whole entire diatribe about bums and dating bums, right? And so then they asked her opinion, and she's like, "Well, I don't know what this word bums, right? Like she didn't even know what the hell they were talking about. So I mean, you know, they're not who you guys are talking about. You keep referring back to American women and Black American women, and you have two white women on the panel who are not from America. And it's like, y'all just want to keep grinding this message about America. You don't even want to hear how these other countries might be different, how these different cultures or experiences might be different. Nope, nope, we're just going to shut that down because the modern American woman ain't shit. Let me tell you how. Like what? Like, I don't know. I don't
Wow.
get it, Char. I don't get it.
Okay, well, there's a lot of experts, and I said many times before, all you need is a smartphone, and you are an expert on whatever you speak of because you say it
Mm-hmm.
over and over again, and because you say it over and over again, it must be true.
Must be, right? Like, you
Yeah,
say it enough times, then it must be true. If you believe it, it must be true. That's what it is.
yeah,
Brilliant. That's
that's the new
brilliant.
thing now.
Yep. Yep. Ruby is a multimillionaire. I'm going to say that several times tonight. Whenever you guys hear it, just understand I'm trying to speak it into reality, like The Secret. Y'all remember that? Isn't that what it is? You speak it out into the world and then it sends it back to you. Well, I'm sending you $10 billion. You know what I mean? Like, let me start right
Okay,
there. Start small, 10 billion. Let's go.
okay,
Mhm.
sounds good to me. Well, tonight, everyone, it's we have a gentleman that he's really concerned about how his girl eats a banana at work. Hey, I didn't make it up. I'm just saying that's what he said. It's important to him, and so I said, okay, well, we'll see what people have to say about the importance. I don't know what else will be um, important. Well, I think we would know, but I don't think he will actually get it. Um, yeah, it's just important to him about the way she is seen. That's
Mm.
important to him. I can't
Okay.
explain it any other way. I mean, you would have to just kind of see it yourself, and you're like, huh? And yeah. But we're going to do our little warm up. We're going to do our Friday dance. Let me speak to a couple of people in here. Hope you had a good birthday, Joe. And yes, you got that right. Hey, that's what the guy said, and I'll play it shortly. But we're gonna warm up a little bit. We're gonna do our little Friday dance. Let's see. Do I have a new one? Yeah, we got a new one. So here we go. Warm up, everybody. 45 seconds.
Look at her. We gon' start this thing around. Groove all in the middle of the night. Come on, come on. You a baby, baby. You a baby, baby. You a baby, I'm living my best life. I'm living my best life. I'm living my best
Woo! All warmed
Mm-hmm.
up. All right.
Feeling good. Yeah. I have a feeling that's going to be Jay Shine at like 80. You know what I mean? I can just see him being that one. I don't know why. I can just see him. He's going to be that one. I know.
Yep, he be. I still got a girl. See? What you talking about? You can see him now.
Mm-hmm. Right? Wait's gonna get mad. He's gonna be like, "Come on now, it wasn't nothing. It was just dance. I just showed I still got it. See, she wanted me. I didn't want her. Right? I can see this. I can see it. I'm sorry, Jay Shaw. You're gonna be that 80-year-old. I already know. I already know. I can just see it. You know, sometimes you can see it, or like, you can see the guys that from now when they're like 80, they're gonna be the ones still checking out, the young girls' bums, right?
Uh
And going,
huh. That's him. Yep.
yeah, girl, give me a little piece of break me off piece of that, and they don't even have teeth. Yeah, it's just sometimes you just know.
Much love to you, Jay Shine.
We love you over here.
All right, so we're gonna listen to this gentleman that wants to get him a new girl because his old girl, well, she ain't eating them bananas right. So here we go.
We can't see your face.
I'm about to go in the light. It's cool. What's up with it?
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Do you have on clothes?
Yeah, I got shorts on. It's late night. I'm in nap, man. I'm coming at y'all for how y'all came in my mans, bro. But look, I got a story myself, but look, I'm coming at y'all cause for how y'all came at my mans, bro. The nigga with 7 kids and 5 baby mamas.
That would be your friend. We knew that. I figured you guys would be friends. You seem like you two would be friends.
Why you say that?
I mean, that's what you told me. You came on and said that's your man, right?
Yeah, this is my first time ever going to this live.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
My fault. My hand was over the
Yeah.
mic.
Okay, so what you want to say?
This is my first time coming to this live, so.
Okay, so cool. So you single?
Yeah, I'm single.
And can you get situated and stay in the light if you want to have a conversation?
Yeah, I'm in the light right now.
Okay, then stay put before I hang up.
You want to see my room? Like you told him?
Hold on. Let's get one thing clear. Either you gonna calm it down or you're gonna get hung up on. So how you wanna play this? How you wanna play this?
I didn't hear what you were saying. I was turning my TV down. What you say?
I can hang up on you or you gonna sit your ass down and have a conversation. What you wanna do? You're not controlling nothing. So
I'm not
you wanna
trying
have
to
a
control
conversation?
nothing.
Okay,
No,
so
I'm not
you wanna
trying
have
to
a
control
conversation?
nothing.
You wanna have you ready to have a conversation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen, look.
No,
I'm the type.
You don't. No, I don't listen. I ask the questions. What's your name?
My name is Raymond.
Raymond, where you calling us from?
Indianapolis, Indiana.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 27.
27. You have any kids?
I got 1 kid. My baby mom been holding my son away from me for about 3 years.
Okay, so you have a 3-year-old son?
No, he's 8 now.
Oh, your son is 8. Why is she keeping him away from you?
It's a real long story. I went to prison. As I was in prison, me and my baby mama, we was together for 6 years. I went to prison, and as I was in prison, I did everything for this girl.
Mm-hmm.
We was together for 6 years. We had a 6-year-long relationship. I was in my son's life. I went to prison for 3 years, as I was in prison, she was free running around, thotting, whoring, and even while in prison, I was trying to, I was doing everything I can. I was calling and everything, but when she would get in a relationship, she wouldn't answer the phone. It had been 5 and 6 months that she wasn't answering the phone. You know what I'm saying? And whenever she would break up or leave the dude that she was with, she would answer. You know what I'm saying? It was August. She answered the phone. And now this is me calling for 5 and 6 months with no answer. It was August. I'm in jail. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? She's calling. She answered in August. I tell her, I say, hey, she answered in August. I say, let me talk to my son just answer the phone on Christmas. Let me talk to my phone on Christmas. I called 57 times on Christmas. She never answered to let me talk to my son. Fam, I get out, right? I get out. I'm doing good. I'm hearing everything. I'm hearing she done been with this friend, that friend, thotting over here, thotting over there. Fam, I still try to hold my family up. Fam, because I don't go for that. I don't go for that. You know what I mean? Because if you my girl, you gotta represent me. Whatever you do is a reflection and a representation of what I stand on. You know what I'm saying? I put my pride to the side to hold my family together. Family. Boom. Her and her auntie living together. It's going good for a month, right? Boom. I'm out of jail. I start doing my thing. Now I'm getting money. I'm doing what it do. Feel? She throw me out.
Wait, okay, stop moving. So you said you were living with her. Stop moving. You were living with her and her aunt, and then she threw you out.
Her and her aunt had a house, right? Her and her aunt had a house. I'm coming fresh out of prison. I was gone for 3 years.
Okay.
I'm living with them, with my son. But I'm doing my thing. I'm starting to exhale. She's accustomed to doing what she wants. Like, she tried to, because how I do a relationship, I don't go for everything. If you want to be with me, it's certain things. Watch how you eating that banana at work. Watch how you eating that banana at work. Fam.
Wait, okay. What does eating a banana at work have to do with being with you?
Because niggas is looking and I don't want you deep throating that motherfucker.
Bro.
Okay.
She's not in prison. I understand. No, seriously. I understand, okay? Because I couldn't even wrap my mind around what this title meant. But I get it. Okay, listen, you were 3 years in prison. You pretty. You know, you got long hair and everything. I understand. You had a lot of protecting of your virtue to do. And you realize maybe they taught you the ropes, or you had to learn the hard way, right? That men in prison will take almost everything as a sexual invitation, because some of them are in there for life and they've been there since they were 17. They had to readjust their sexuality. Fine. Okay. Here's the thing. This is not prison. You have to, honestly, I really think that some men who come out of prison, like, they should have like a thing, or us in the community, we should set it up for our own people to react, because you cannot apply prison rules to the real world and then wonder why no one else is following it, because we're not in prison. So no one's worried that if they eat a banana, right, that everyone's looking at it going, look at the way she put that in her mouth instead of breaking off a piece and putting it into her mouth. That's how you eat a banana. You don't want to get your fingers sticky, so you peel it, you hold it in one hand, and you bite. Right? Like, dude, this is not prison. Okay? It's not prison. You need therapy. Okay. Right. That's
Well,
it.
he said, it's some special stuff with him. You got to get in line to be with him. He don't just take anything. That's what he said.
It, Shar, the thing he
Hey,
pointed out. Okay, listen.
that's what he
Okay,
said. I'm just saying.
that's what he said. But here's the thing. Okay, so when you're holding on to things in your heart, right? Someone's done you wrong, and then you bring up a point like that, and someone says, "Well, what are you talking about?" Right? Tell me the ways that she just does whatever she wants, and she's doing you so wrong and so disrespectfully. You're gonna bring up the thing that's sitting heaviest on your heart, and all he had to reach for is the way she eats a banana at work.
Well, she was, out thoughting it up, thoughting it over here, thoughting it over there, here thought, there thought, everywhere thought. He did say that.
Uh, well, okay, listen, I'm gonna stand with Vonda H on this one, bro. You got yourself locked up for 3 years. Whatever she was doing with her kitty in that time isn't your business. If you want it to be your business, don't get yourself locked up. And listen, I understand people go to prison. Innocent people go to prison all the time. We talk about people
Yeah.
like that, right? He's not one of them. He went to prison for real, okay? Because he was meant to go there. Let's not get it twisted.
No
I'm just
doubt
saying.
about it.
Yeah, I have zero doubt in my mind that man went to prison for something he did. And he knew he was going to go to prison for doing it too, and then he did it anyway. Because you know what? Maybe he robbed somewhere, something, but he went to prison because he earned going to prison. And when you do that, she might have had the best of intentions at the beginning, okay? I love you. Don't worry. I'll be there for you when you get out. You my man. Da 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 da. But it gets lonely and cold, and she's gonna get resentful and bitter and lonely and struggling to take care of herself and your kid when you're suddenly in prison now because you decided you didn't want to go the straight and narrow way and take care of her and the kid, like the Erica Badu song. And so you know what she did? She went and found someone to take care of all of her needs for her. That's what she did. If you
Well,
don't want it to happen, don't go back to prison. Okay.
you gotta say, he's 27, so I'm pretty sure that he said he did 3 yards. I did 3 yards. So if he did 3 yards, then he was 24. She probably
Right.
was around that age too, and that's a young lady who
Mm-hmm.
wants to just sit around and just sit there.
Right.
I'm just saying, yes, she does have a child, but life, does move on. It's not like they were married or anything. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to throw that out there while he was gone for 3 yards.
For three
Hey,
years.
yeah, three
Right? Boom.
yards.
Yo, I was mocking and the way he says so many things. I know I'm terrible. He's like, yo, boom, right there. Boom. Like I've been doing boom in the background the whole time since he said it. Like it's just like he's so animated. He's like a cartoon
He
character.
is.
Yeah.
He is.
I love this guy. Okay.
Hey, Vonda, welcome to the panel.
Oh, hey, girl, hey. Oh, where? I don't see Vonda. Where's Vonda?
Oh, where's Vonda? There she is.
Ah, there we go. Hey, girl, hey.
Hey, Shar. Hey, Ruby.
Hey there.
Thanks for having me. I just want to say, Ruby, I love your picture. You're glowing. You're glowing, girl.
Oh, well, thank you, girl. I took
She
it at my
is.
cousin's wedding on Sunday. I was feeling extra beautiful, so do my
Wedding?
Mm.
thing.
What? Somebody
Yes,
got married? A
yeah,
black
my
woman?
baby. Yeah, well, okay. To be fair, she's like 40% black and like 60% white, but still, yes, a half black woman got married.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's what it is. I got, but listen, for the purposes of this discussion, yes, a biracial, very light skinned woman. No, I'm joking. But for real, yeah, no, she got married and during COVID, no less, right? And they only met in 2019. So I'm like, I didn't know who the hell this guy was. Like, it's like, oh, she's
Mm.
getting married. I was like, oh, that's great. They told me like a month ago. I'm like, oh, when's the wedding? September 5th.
Oh, wow. Well,
So
they
is
made
she
up their
pregnant?
mind. That was quick. They
Yeah.
made up their mind. We're in love and we're
Mhm.
going to do it.
Yep, and they did it. So yeah, people are getting falling in love and getting in married. And guess what?
What?
I'm telling you, it was definitely based on personality for the two of them. Listen, they are strange people. Even strange people meet their matches. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying, okay, I love my cousin. Don't get me wrong, but she's not the girl who is out here on Insta thoughting and all of this nonsense. And no, she's a girl who, you know what, on her days, like to enjoy herself, she would buy those adult coloring books. Okay, and she liked adult coloring books and it was really peaceful for her and she likes
Mm.
crafting. Okay, and she's a very different kind of
Different.
girl from girls her age, right? Because they're like 29, and she's 29, he's 31.
What? Over 25? Oh, Lord. No, they couldn't
even
have gotten married.
even
No. Mm-mm.
so, right, no, she's 29 years old, man, by 27. Okay, and she ain't thin. All right,
No,
she ain't never been
no.
thin.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Nope, nope,
Nope.
mm-mm.
Oh,
Nope, she ain't thin. Mm-mm. And yet there you go. She found a man who loves her, got down on one knee, said, "Baby, I need you now. Let's get married now." You know what I'm saying? And they figured it out. Got the family. Listen, it's not easy to do a wedding during COVID. Okay, and it's expensive
Yeah.
because you got to get the same place that's super expensive, and you can't pack a bunch of people in there. You still got to, and then you have to pay all these extra fees. People are getting married. So y'all, hey, guess what? Winter wasn't coming for her because she just got married. And she's turning 20. She's turning 20. No, she's turning 30 October. Her birthday's like October or November. It's soon. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay, well, there's
the
another one in
thing.
the books. Okay. All right.
But Ruby was sitting there feeling all young and beautiful. I had a little dress on. I was looking all curvy and stuff. Mr. Ruby was supplying me. I was feeling nice.
All
And so, yeah,
right.
there
Well,
you
that had
go.
to be nice getting dressed up. I mean, with
Yeah.
COVID and stuff going on, I mean, a lot of
Yes.
events are canceled. A lot of events
Hmm.
are not going on. So I know
Right.
it feels good to, put on some high heels, some lipstick, some
Yes.
highlighter, just
Yes. It felt so
makeup.
good. I haven't been anywhere
Absolutely.
since
Forever.
2019, honestly. I've been, yeah, like seriously, I just haven't left since COVID started. It was so nice to go outside and then stay there for an hour. You know what I mean? Like you're actually no, I'm gonna eat outside and talk to people. Like we couldn't even dance on the dance floor, y'all. I'm sorry, I know I'm totally derailing things, but really quick. We couldn't even dance on the dance floor, and I'm gonna tell you, even if we wanted to, no one would have. It was horrible. Music was horrible, but I think they did it on purpose to keep us from getting on the dance floor. Um, and we still didn't leave. My whole table was like my family, my cousins and stuff. And we stayed literally until the wedding was over, just shooting the shit, just talking, having a good time. The adults talking to the cousins. We're all grown at this point, but I'm saying when I say the adults, I mean the older generation, the aunts and uncles and stuff. Um, and we were just all talking and joking and laughing. And then my cousin came by, the married one, and then her sister came by, and we were just all having an amazing time. And we stayed until they kicked us out. So that tells you how much everyone is desperate for social social connection to people face to face. Because I don't think anyone, no one gets it anymore. We're not allowed to like go and just do stuff like that. So it was really nice, and the food was excellent. Like
Good
wedding food
deal.
is never good. It was actually really good, like really really good. So yeah,
Okay.
great night. Hmm.
Well, Vonda,
Well,
did you
that's
want
good.
to say anything about this before we play a little bit more of Mr. Man here?
You know what? This guy, just from the moment he came on camera, he irked my soul. I'm
Oh
sorry.
no. Well, he looking for
First of
love.
all, little cricket, stand still. What are you so hyped for? Sit first, put a damn shirt on, sit your ass down and have the conversation with the lady. It's not like he didn't know who the hell he was calling and what he was calling for. It's my understanding that this woman helps hook people up or help people
Yes.
to meet. So she'll ask you some questions, bring you onto her show, ask you some questions, and then if there are some retarded ladies that are interested, they may DM you or call you back or something. This fool comes on there, hair flying all over the place, no damn shirt on, and he's running around the house like he's playing freeze tag. Sit down. What the hell is he
Hmm.
doing? And then he wants to talk about how he was in prison and how she was just thoughting it up all over the place. Dude, what was you doing in there? Was you thoughting it up in there?
I think
What
so.
she does with her kitty cat is none of your business.
Hmm.
Because you know what? I'm gonna venture to say that they probably broke up when he was convicted. They
Hmm.
probably broke up, or at some point she was like, you know what? I'm out. This dude's about to do some
Yep.
time. I'm out, and she has every right to walk away. No man
Yep.
should sit up there and expect a woman to sit around and wait with a chastity belt on until he came home with no
Right.
support, no nothing. You got to pay for the phone call. Everything with a dude in prison, you got to pay for everything.
Right. And then you're supposed to
So,
be filling up his canteen weekly and stuff like that. And like,
girl,
dude,
he
come
so
on.
he just really kind of irked me, and then he wants to talk about how she eats a banana. Okay, you know what?
Right.
There are more important things to worry about. How about you not seeing your kid? Let's talk about seeing your kid rather than how his mother eats a banana.
Well, he is
Mm-hmm.
about to describe a little bit of that because he was trying to see and call, and she wouldn't answer. So we'll hear a little bit more.
All right.
All right, let me play it here.
Real talk. That's just how
Wait.
it was. No, look, no.
Wait,
y'all trying to make it in the no.
wait.
We
So
was
you're
together for 6 years.
so you're
It was
saying
work. It was
so you're
work.
saying you didn't want her to eat bananas because men watch how.
No, I wanted her. I didn't say don't eat bananas at work. Watch how you eating that banana at work.
Whew. Okay, so is that what caused y'all to break up?
No, she know how I am because we in the break room. You deep throw a banana. What the? Come on now.
Okay, but real quick, why? How do you know that she's eating a banana at work?
Cause she taking a banana to work.
So
Okay.
when she packs her lunch to go to work, you're mad that she took a banana?
No, I'm not mad. She took a banana. I just
So
let her know.
so you asked her how did she eat the banana at work?
No, I don't even ask her. When she's leaving with the banana in her lunch bag, watch how you eating it.
So you say to her, you said to her, watch how you eat the banana at work because you don't want men to think she's deep throating.
I tell her, okay, say we getting up, boom, she put a banana in the, I see her throw a banana in a lunch bag. Hey, watch how you eating that banana at work. Now you don't need me. Okay, we was in a relationship for 6 years. It wasn't that controlling. Like you trying to make it seem like it's controlling. It wasn't a controlling relationship.
Listen, I'm asking you questions. I didn't say the word controlling, but that is crazy as hell to me for you to see a woman have a banana and the thing that makes you think of it is how she's eating it and how men are gonna look. We got keep the phone in your face. We have to hold the phone in your face.
Y'all hear the bottom part?
Okay. You got the phone has to, babe, I'm gonna hang up.
See?
Okay, listen.
Yo, I'm an
So,
alcoholic.
but
I know that sound.
ultimately, Raymond, I'm not a psychiatrist. Okay, let's just keep that 1,000. And I do think you have a lot going on. Are you single? So you're not with that woman anymore?
Yes, so I'm single, right? So let me just get back to my story because you're not really understanding what I'm saying, right? So, boom. So I get out of prison. I'm living with her and her auntie. And meanwhile, while I'm living with her and her auntie, she's been with 3 of my friends, 3 people that I know, right? And I'm still with her for my family's sake, right? She throw me out the house, put me out the house, right? So I'm gone. Boom. But I'm still coming over every day. I'm still coming over, seeing my son. You know what I'm saying? I'm still coming over every day. I'm grabbing my son. We going out to eat, even if it's for 30 minutes or 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? I'm still in my son's life. You feel me? They tell me to stop coming over to see my son. A month after putting me out of the house,
was it because of your
telling
drinking?
me to stop coming.
I'm
Yeah,
just positive
was
it's because of the
it had
drinking.
anything to do with his behavior?
1,000%. Listen, this man could not get through. How long has this conversation been, Shar? 3 minutes? This man could not get through 3 minutes of conversation without popping that bottle open, okay? He's an alcoholic, right? That probably is, I don't know if it started before or after prison, or both or whatever. But A, he has a drinking problem. B, he knows he's controlling to borderline abusive levels. And the reason why you know that is because he volunteered that it's not that controlling. I'm not that controlling. Wait, what? So you know you're controlling, but you just don't think your level of controlling is excessive, but you know you're controlling. If you're admitting you're controlling, but you don't think you have a problem, you are probably significantly worse than you think you are. And then you add alcohol to that mix, and you are probably a goddamn whole travesty to deal with, which is why they put your ass out of the house because they didn't want the kid to have to deal with you and your drunken antics. Then you started coming over earlier in the day, they kick you out before you start drinking, but you started drinking earlier. So you started showing up drunk on that mess and on that bullshit. And so they told you, you can't come back here until you fix your shit. Now, if tell me I'm lying because I can't see how else this situation went. And if that's the way the situation went, they weren't wrong. So, yeah, you're not a victim, bro. Okay.
Yeah, and what I was listening to as well is he mentioned that when he got out and he stayed with the aunt and girlfriend and the child,
Mhm.
and he was getting it in, he was making money, he was doing his thing. That's how he described it. So, okay, you were doing
I
all
missed
of
that
that.
part.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was before you got on. That was the first time when I stopped it. And he was
Mhm.
doing his thing and all of that. So I'm looking for him to say, okay, and now I start planning so I can leave so I won't have to live with my child mother and the aunt. But that
Mhm.
wasn't mentioned. It was only they put me out. See, they had put me out. And I'm like, but
Mhm.
what happened to you? Are making money. I'm doing my thing. I got this and all of that stuff. So I'm just looking for him to do what the next step should be, but I hadn't heard that yet. But he's
Nope.
very upset about being put out.
Well, I
Mhm.
missed part of his conversation because I didn't hear him say thank you, that he was grateful coming straight out the penitentiary, and he had a place to stay. And I'm
Right.
sure they weren't asking for rent the first day.
Uh-uh.
So he came straight out the pen, okay?
Yes.
Um,
Mhm.
and all he did was come out with complaints. I didn't hear a thank you or I appreciated what she did, or I could have been in a hobo house for all they cared,
Mhm.
but I had a place to stay. And after a month of, I'm just going to fill in the blanks, of him not probably getting his SHIT together, it was like, dude, it's time for you to go. Nobody about to put up
Mhm.
with this or have leeway with it. Now the aunt don't have to put up with it. She probably only let him come to the house from the gate because it was her niece.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, I don't have no baby with him. If I'm the auntie and I don't have no baby with this man, I give you 30 days. 30 days, if you don't have it together, you don't have no prospects or nothing going on, you got to go.
Mhm.
Yep.
And you know what?
That's
I would
not your
add to that.
responsibility.
I would add to that too, though, because here's the thing, right? Women are a wealth of charity and generosity, provided they get something in return. I'll tell you the thing they need in return. They need to see your ass trying. Okay. So if they see that you're trying, you've cleaned up your act, you've changed your ways, you're getting all dressed up, suit and tie, you're going out there, you're pounding the pavement. They see you on the internet constantly just trying to edit your resume, sending out more and more resumes. You haven't been able to find a job yet, but they really see that you are invested in your son. You're providing around the household as far as just working, cleaning, just taking care of stuff that you can, and you're working really hard to find a job. They'll give you that leeway because they'll understand, you've got the criminal record, it's harder, blah blah blah, but they see that you're working. Okay. They drop that generosity and that charity when they see that you are taking the tiniest bit of advantage of them and of your situation. And he seems very much like the guy who feels entitled. Right now, they always talk about women's entitlement, but we forget that this generation is generally very entitled. They honestly think that the world owes them something and should hand them something at all times. So, and this is why they're very lazy. This is why they sit around and they cry and they don't understand. Well, I don't understand. Why wouldn't you just harbor me forever while I did nothing but drink and complain? I don't understand.
It's just
Really?
ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. He has a gripe. Now, the reason he called this show, I thought, was to give up his great skills and the benefits of being with him. And why should someone try to reach out to date him? This dude is acting like he talking to Dr. Phil,
Mm-hmm.
and he's done nothing but complain. He gets out of prison. He has a place to stay. Most dudes, they'll end up on the streets, but he had a place to stay. I'm
Or a
not
halfway
sure,
house.
but I can almost guess what he did to mess that up,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and he messed it up.
lots.
He messed it up.
Lots.
But
Yeah.
now he's trying to say he was put at a disservice because he was put out. It sounds like he
Mm-hmm.
wants to say unjustly, I was put out.
Yeah,
First
he
Yeah.
off,
does feel some
that's
kind
not
of
your
way about
mama.
that.
That is
Mm-hmm.
not your auntie. They don't owe you anything, dude. The 30 days
Mm-hmm.
that they gave you was a blessing.
Right. But you know what the thing is, and here's the thing though, women aren't like that. I'm telling you, they're not. If that woman lets you come stay with her to begin with, and you have a kid with her, and blah blah blah, and so she would want to make it work for the sake of the family and all this other stuff. Okay, she didn't just kick you out just cause. That's not the way women work. Okay, she lets you come back to the house. She gave you the safe harbor. She gave you all the support in the world because she was hoping to see you stand up. Okay. And you didn't stand up. And then what's probably worse than the fact that you didn't stand up, you probably went right back to hustling. Okay. And then whatever money you got from hustling went into your alcohol addiction and your weed and whatever else, whatever other bullshit, stupid stuff. Probably very little, if anything, that has anything to do with your kid. Okay. And so at the end of the day, you become a liability, you become an expense. Okay. And you're not doing anything that's worth her investing into. So when she puts you out, it's actually the best thing possible for you. I'm going to be real. Okay. And of course, we all know, okay, King Petty DeAndre would say this, right? Enabling ain't shitness. Right? There's some of these dudes, they get caught up in ain't shitness and then they expect women to enable it. And when the women don't enable it, at first they're just shocked and they're angry and they're all these things. But it's the best thing for you because you got to learn how to stand up like a man. And you're not going to do it if everyone's enabling your ain't shitness. So maybe she did this out of love. And if you ever figure out how to stand up and be a man, she'll take you back. But you can't hear that because you're so busy being a child and crying and feeling sorry for yourself because why would they enable my shitness? I don't understand. I deserve for my ain't shitness to be enabled. Like, damn, it's so whiny.
Wah.
Right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
Yeah, I'm
I'm waiting
sorry
for
you.
him to get to the point. What I want to hear what his point is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see. It should be very interesting. We're hearing the whining. Let's see what we got.
And to see my son, feel me? So I'm like, okay, and it's her and her aunt on the lease, right? So I'm like, okay. So I go in, and at this point in my life, it's been 3-4 months. I've been out of prison. I'm getting money. I'm doing good. She done put me
How
out.
are you getting money? What were you doing to get money?
I'm working. I own my own businesses. I own 3 businesses. I own a record label. I'm a rapper, and I got a construction company.
Okay. So she pushed you out after 3 months. What was her reason for putting you out?
She didn't want, she was so used to being like I told you about the banana, right? I'm not going to go too deep on that subject no more, but like I told you about the banana, right?
Oh my God.
Boom. That's how our relationship is. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really controlling. I was out, but that's how our relationship is. I go to jail, and this is a 6-year relationship. I go to jail. She's out thotting. She's with my friends, like niggas that I done had over the house that she done been you feel me? So she's she wants to keep living that type. She don't want to go back to watch how you eating that banana. Fam. But that's how I roll.
Okay. So
but hold on.
You got to get to the end of the story though, because the end of the story is you guys aren't together, and she's holding.
We're not together. I haven't seen my son in 3 years.
So what are you doing to fix that? Are you going to court?
I hired a lawyer. I went to court. The first court date, my lawyer didn't show up. The first court date, I got lost. She moved 2 hours away from where I was at. So since the kid has been in that county for over 6 months, you have to, since the kid's been in that county for 6 months, you got to go to court in that county, which is 2 hours away. I'm driving there. I get lost. I don't make it to the court date. I paid $2,500 for the lawyer to have my son in my life. I paid $2,500 for the lawyer to have my son in my life. You feel me?
Okay, so
I
Okay.
get lost. I get lost going there. Boom. That's one court date. Second court date, I make it there. My lawyer don't show up.
Oh God.
Third court date, COVID hit. No civil or no civil cases or like little cases to pen, and that's what it is. But
Okay, Raymond, I gotta jump in because our show. This is a single show. So are you trying to meet somebody new?
yeah, I'm single. I'm a bachelor. That's why I want to show y'all the room, show y'all how I'm living. Hold on.
Dude.
Y'all see me, lady? Y'all see me, lady? The bed vibrate. The bed vibrate. I got a remote for the bed. The bed vibrate. Lift up. It's like a hospital bed. I got my own house. The reason I'm living in this side is because I take care of my mom and my little brother. I take care of my whole family.
No, you
She
don't.
left me thinking that I was just going to go back to jail, and I ran it up. I won up on her. I got 2 houses back to back. My mama and my whole family stay next door. My mama ain't paid rent in 2 years.
Okay.
Real bachelor. I'm a real bachelor. Yeah, I'm looking for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
That's for sure.
Look, and I'm a rapper. I'm not trying to promote
He's
my
looking
shit,
for Jesus.
but it's Messy Gang, Messy World. Y'all look me up on YouTube, Panyard, Bandino, Panyard.
Okay,
Bandino, Bandenyo.
Raymond. Okay. Well, if there's a young lady that wants to meet you,
check me out.
Raymond, we're about to go.
Let her see me now.
MICKEYMOUSC. That's all I can think about.
Let her see me.
You see?
I'm a bachelor. I live by myself.
You see?
Let her see
He was a prison bitch. I told you.
Oh my God, he is a whole woman.
Thank you.
that?
He's posing up like he would have in prison to sell himself to the next protector because his first protector got out. You see, he was holding some dude's pocket. And that's why he's so damn focused on the banana. Because no man is sitting there, first of all, just skinny like a twink. And then second of all, though, posing up the way he is. Yo, he's a whole woman. That's what his issue is. Mm-hmm. Yep. Prison woman. I'm just saying. It's very obvious. Like, the banana thing was too weird. It didn't make any sense until you realize, oh, that's how he got into the prison bitch lifestyle. He was eating a banana the wrong way. And then you learn real quick. he was actually advertising his skills. Now
he was in there giving away his cornbread. Somebody wanted his cornbread, and he was giving out the cornbread.
Mm-hmm. And now he don't know how to stand up and be a man. A, because he never had a proper male role model growing up, but B, because he was a woman for so long in prison. He comes out and he's trying to regain his manhood, masculinity, except he's not trying to regain it. So he's just trying to instill a bunch of stuff he was doing as a kid, basically. Like he has 700 million pairs of shoes, a vibrating bed, and what? Like what is his net worth right now? Like 49 cents? Like
$12.
Right? The first thing he focused on was what? The broke down wall. Like that's the very first thing the camera focused on. This dude ain't about shit. He's not hitting on shit, right? Enabling any shitness that is not strong enough for anyone who would mess with this dude. Even to sleep with him on a one night stand, you would be beyond enabling his shitness because it would tell him he has something worth sleeping with and he doesn't. Okay, no, this is tragic. This is tragic. Like, this was funny the whole way through, but this is tragic as hell.
Yeah, you know what's interesting as well? He states that he takes care of his mother and a couple more people. That's kind of interesting. He said he had a couple of houses, and I'm confused. What was all the anger about?
Well, he got
was
3 businesses.
proud?
He got a construction business. He's a rapper, and what the heck else he said he did?
I can't recall the third thing, but I know he did say he had 3 businesses.
Well, they all sounded very lucrative if he really did it. I mean,
But
one is enough to take care of you.
But how are you living with someone's auntie, with your girl and the baby inside your auntie's house, right? When you own three properties, so you and your girl and your baby could just live in one of those. I'm just very confused by that statement. And now you're taking care of your mama and this and that or whatever, but you couldn't take care of your baby? I I I mean, how many years has it been since this passed? I want
You
to
know
look at
what?
this.
I just something just came to my mind, you guys, and I'm sorry. You guys may not agree with me, but this is really an instance where they could have used the old Kevin Samuels who, showed you which cologne to put on,
Yeah.
what shirt went with what pants, the tie you should
Hmm.
have on, how to present yourself. Because he is presenting himself like a horse's ass. And apparently he was treated like a horse's ass. And he has a problem with it. He has a problem with being treated like a horse's ass when that's what he's acting like right now.
Right. Like he's pushing out his chest like a woman does when you have breasts, so you want like to show off your cleavage. Like he doesn't know. See, this is the thing. And I actually agree with you, Vonda. When Kevin Samuels did that content, I supported his channel and I was following because I thought it was actually a really necessary message, especially for Black men and Black people in general. We don't understand how image and all those little things that you do or don't do go towards the way people perceive you. And why it's more detrimental for this generation than any other is because we were getting gunned down in the streets and they were using our hoodies and stuff like that as an excuse. And so my generation, right, the millennials, we rebelled and we went the whole opposite way. Fine, none of us are ever going to dress in classy attire. None of us are ever wearing a suit. None of us are ever, right? So what, you're going to say we're all hoodlums then, no matter where we're born, no matter what walks of life, whatever. So we were rebelling in a way. And because we were rebelling, we didn't necessarily go through that process in life where you start learning to put yourself together. So a lot of millennials and Generation Z's honestly don't know. They don't. And it was such a necessary thing. And I understand that, for the most part, though, people don't care. They don't care about self-improvement. So I understand it's a difficult thing. But it's something that's really needed because this dude has no idea what he's doing wrong. He doesn't know how to fix his posture,
He's
even in a
clueless.
masculine way.
He's
Yeah.
absolutely clueless that she has to say, hey, settle down. Can I see your face? Sit down. Let's have this conversation. This dude is bouncing all over, back and forth.
The
He's
walls,
all over
yeah.
the place.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he might be on drugs too, because he's really full of delusions of grandeur, and that's a common cocaine, not crack cocaine, but powdered cocaine symptom is delusions of grandeur, right? And I dated a cocaine addict for a long time, so I'm aware of how it can literally change your whole personality. But it makes you believe things about yourself in the moment that aren't true, right? You'll
Wow.
believe that you own sports teams. You'll believe that, like, oh, you're dating supermodels. You'll believe, and basically all of the belief systems are that you're better than everyone, right? So when people start saying crazy things about how much they've achieved or accomplished or what they have, and it doesn't seem to match up with what you're visibly seeing, first thing I always think of is cocaine, especially now you see him, he's bouncing off the walls, he's just constantly speaking, blah blah blah. Like it seems kind of cocaine-ish. I'm just saying.
Mm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a little suspect. I'm sorry. His behavior is a little suspect. His attention span is like that of a gnat. He cannot
Hmm.
stay on task for 3 seconds.
Hmm. It's weird, and part of it probably is the trauma of prison, right? I mean, again, we don't know. We weren't actually there, so we're just positing he was holding someone's pocket, right? We don't know though. Um, and I'm gonna say he was, and I'm gonna say the trauma of that because it's like what happens in prison stays in prison. You're supposed to come out of prison just like you come out of war, and you kind of leave whatever happened in prison in prison.
Mm.
But when you kind of whatever you've done in prison literally goes against who you are as a person, let's say, or whatever, or just confronts who you are as a person, that's probably not an easy pill to swallow. So you're not talking about it, you're not dealing with it. And so what ends up happening? Normally drug and alcohol abuse, right? I mean, God, when you think about what happened to that kid, just the stuff that we know of that happened to the kid. Oh, what's his name? He's the one Jay-Z even met him and stuff, and he was arrested for his backpack. Basically, he didn't actually
Oh,
commit the
Khalif
crime.
Browder.
Thank you, Cleve Browder. And what ended up happening? He ended up killing himself
Killing
after
himself.
he got fame, he got fortune, he got all these great things afterwards. I mean, all he did had to do was lose his innocence in a few years of his life, right? And yet he couldn't recover because of what he had experienced in prison. So it's a hard pill to swallow when you are a criminal versus when you're not. And this guy's obviously a criminal, so I think it might be a little bit easier for him. Sorry, I know I'm stereotyping, but yeah, this guy's obviously a criminal. So with that being said, a criminal is a little different than being, a criminal holding someone's pocket. So just saying, or maybe you just jumped a few times in the showers, and then later on someone told him, well, the way you were eating that banana. Oh, well, the way you were doing this. Oh, well, the way you were doing that. And if y'all think we are being ridiculous, I would just like to point out that that's the only crime that he could say specifically she did. The way she eats a banana at work. That's
He
it.
didn't even see it. That's the other thing.
That's why I'm
Yeah,
like, how
he
did
just
he
saw
do
her
that
packing
at
her lunch and he just got offended because she was putting a banana in the bag. It's like,
work?
dude, chill out. Calm
Right.
down. It's just a banana.
Mm-hmm.
I'd hate to see what he, say to her if she was sticking an apple in there. It's like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm. I'm saying that's listen, trauma is a real thing. Okay. And it seems almost like it's becoming redundant now in these spaces. I remember when I first got here and all I was talking about was seeking therapy and psychological stuff. It was not popular. Now all of a sudden it seems to be everyone's go-to. I get it. It might sound redundant, but like understand, y'all, this is not a healthy person. Okay, this is not a psychologically normal, psychologically healthy man that we're looking at. He's not a representative of the general bachelor society. But he's not. Like we can try to overgeneralize and say, "See, black men ain't shit," because I know a lot of people like to do that. But he's not a representative of normal people. He's not. There's a lot of things wrong with him.
Hmm.
Okay, what
Hmm.
else he got to say?
Okay, let's see. What's the next thing?
I'm curious.
Y'all like that?
Oh
Take
my
care. Y'all
God.
got them racks. I own 3 companies. I'm a rapper. Look me up on YouTube. Pan Yard Bandino. Pan in the yard.
Raymond, one thing. Okay, listen. Raymond. Before we go, I am just curious. What are your deal breakers? What are some of the things you don't want to date in a woman?
Man, like, it's like, I just want somebody that deserves me. Like, I've only been out for 3 years. I got
Only?
3 houses, 6 cars. Like, you don't gotta have what I got, but don't be no city girl ass female. Don't sit. Oh, that's why I'm still a bachelor after 3 years. I'm going through a lot. I'm fighting for my son. I'm a black man out here in the Midwest. It's different out here. I'm really from Atlanta, but it's different out here in the Midwest. They ain't trying to hang niggas. Feel me?
So Raymond, what kind of woman are you looking for then?
A woman that's gonna help me elevate, a woman that's got her stuff going on and a woman that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, add to my team, help me go up. Not a woman to take care of, because that's what's wrong. A lot of these females want a nigga to take care of them, and I got it. I got money on the stage. I'm caked up.
Okay, could the woman have kids? Could the woman, Raymond, could the woman have kids?
Yeah, but I mean, it just depends. Like, it's like if you got kids, your personality got to be kind of like really, you feel me?
No.
Does she eat bananas?
No,
Use the
I
word.
don't.
Does she eat bananas?
What does that mean?
Like,
You
you gotta
gotta
say
watch how
words.
you eat it at
Jesus
work.
Christ.
You can eat bananas, but you gotta watch how you eat it at work.
All right, Raymond.
Oh Lord.
He
I,
went back to the banana.
I'm
Okay,
stuck.
this fool is touched, and I'm not gonna even say he's touched by an angel. This dude is touched. He's not making any sense. He's like, I got this, I got 3 businesses, I'm this, I'm that, I got 6 cars, but I don't want a woman I gotta take care of. You know, I'm gonna lead out the gate with all of my riches, but you know what? If I gotta take care of her, no, I don't want to take care of her, but I want her to be able to help me elevate. But
Right.
I got everything that I said I needed except for the woman. But I don't want to take care of her, but she has to elevate me. But I'm not taking care of her because she needs to have her stuff together. But she better not be eating no bananas at work.
Well, you know, I did hear the part where he said he been going through it. So, you know, for three yards, he been going through it.
Well, no, first he talked about all he had and then talked about how but he going through it with
Right.
his son, right? The rest of life is perfect, right? I mean, he's not bullshitting about anything he said out loud. He promises. The only thing he's going through is trying to get his son. Bullshit. First of all, I'm just calling straight bullshit on like everything he said. First of all. Second of all, listen, there is a life lesson in here, okay, guys, for normal people, okay, for just like not touched in the head people. Um, Here's the thing. You realize this man has spent zero time in the last 3 years since he got out of prison on self-reflect, on accountability, on assessing, well, what did you do wrong in the past so that way you won't make the same mistakes in the future? He spent zero time analyzing and reflecting on self. He spent the last 3 years blaming her and villainizing her and villainizing the aunt and finding a way to blame everyone else and make his problems everyone's fault but his. And even if I were to try to give him half a piece of credit, that something she did was wrong, right? I've been in relationships, y'all. I've been in abusive relationships. I've been in relationships where it's very clear I wasn't the person who was in the wrong. Even the people the person I was dating said, like, you weren't in the wrong. I'm just messed up. I'm a messed up person or whatever. I didn't deal with my shit, whatever it is. And I have still, after those relationships ended, I take the time to reflect. Now, I try to figure out, okay, I can see what went wrong, obviously. I try to figure out what's going on with them and
Uh-huh.
why they were the way they were so I can identify that in the future. But I also analyze me. What did I contribute to this that made it go left instead of right? What were things I could have done better? What was weak or, ineffectual in me that I needed to change? What were things that I imposed on him that were maybe unfair or irrational or based on my own issues? What are my own issues that I need to maybe work on so I don't bring that into the next relationship and hurt it? Right? So even when they're in the wrong, what was it about me that made me standing prey for an abuser? Like, I thought about these things, right? This is how you grow and mature, become wiser, become a better partner for next time. He took no time to think about any of that, which is why he's still repeating the banana bullshit. He has no idea how ridiculous and asinine that sounds. Y'all, if you're single and shit keeps going wrong in your relationships, and you repeat stuff, maybe it's not banana, maybe it's something else, right? And you say it, and everyone around you kind of pauses, and maybe they don't respond or they laugh or something, and they just let you go on with your bad self. Understand that they're trying to tell you that that's dumb as fuck, and no one is going to ever accept that because it's not reasonable. There's stuff about you you need to analyze and fix. Okay? Just like Buddy with his banana thing. That no woman is accepting it. You better be eating your fruit differently at work, girl. Who's accepting that?
Well, he's probably having flashbacks because it was a banana that got him caught up when he was locked up. And
Facts.
he's having some flashbacks. But I actually thought that I was going to get like a tutorial. This is what not to do when eating a banana. But this fool is like dumbstruck on a banana and this woman, and The only thing that he said that, he finds, egregious in her behavior is that apparently she slept with some of his friends. Now, that's messy. You don't do that. If she was going to date other men while he was locked up, okay, fine. She should be able to do whatever, maybe a little decorum would have helped the situation. But when do you guys think he found out about his friends and he still moved in with her and her aunt? I think that fool found out before he got home that she was out there, laying it low and spreading it wide. I think he kind of found out before he got home, but he still came home and came home to her,
Right.
trying to make it work.
You know what? Maybe okay. Listen, I personally don't think that she actually slept with any of his friends because I think all of his friends ain't shit just like him. And if she was gonna sleep around, she would have been trying to do better. Now, with that being said, though, let's pretend that she did. In my experience with hood dudes, right? And I'm not saying me being the hoe. I'm saying me having male hood friends and this exact scenario happening where literally she smashed all the homies. And I caped for this chick too for a good minute. So I'm actually a little bit upset that we found out about this after the fact. But yo, they held on to that secret for years. When I say years, like they were together for the girl and the guy I'm talking about, they were together for, let's say, about 17 years in total. Okay. And about 10 years ago, she slept with person one time. Okay. But then they slept together again a couple other times. And then she also slept with the other friend more recently. And then she slept with the third one that was like 8 years back. They didn't say nothing to the man that she's dating. They said it to each other, right? Like we would have conversations. Okay, here we call it politicking. Okay, so we politic. That means you're like sitting in someone's garage, you're smoking weed, smoking cigarettes, drinking, and you're just talking about stuff, right? And so we're politicking, and this chick would come up a lot. And so we would talk, and I'd be like, no, it's not true. She got a hoe, da da da. She's a good girl, and the way he treats her so wrong. And I'm sitting there caping for this girl, not knowing that I'm talking to people who have slept with her, like
Oh.
sometimes less. Yeah, right. So it's terrible. I feel so stupid. I'm so bad. But anyway, eventually it comes out. But they only let it drop when the relationship was really, really over. That they really, because these people, they've broken up multiple times, but they only told the truth when I was like, nah, it's actually really, really done. Then all of a sudden the truth came out. I went, well, now you were right. She was a hoe. Surprise, my D's banana. Like that's basically what they did. So, with that being said, I can see them not having told him until after it was already over. She kicked him out. She's like, no, I'm done. She got a new man and everything. And they said, well, don't worry about that chick. I slept with her while you were in prison. You know what I mean? I can see
Okay.
that happening. Yeah. So I mean, it's equally if they're actually really good friends, right? Like they're good people inside, and I find that rare these days, right? Then they might have slept with her and then called, yo, dude, I feel sorry. But you know what? He's in prison. A lot of people aren't gonna tell you problems like that while you're in prison because like there's nothing
Yeah.
you can do about it except sit there in a cell and stew or get yourself into some kind of trouble while you're in prison because you're so upset. So a lot of people will hold on to that information. And then you get out of prison and it's like, well, shoot, now I've been lying to you for 3 years. So what am I going to do now? I can't really come out with it. So, I can see a variety of different situations where maybe they didn't tell him until after, but I think he made it up. I think he made it up to justify himself so he doesn't have to feel bad about, it has nothing to do with him. She's just a hoe. She just wants the streets. She's for the streets. She's on the cock carousel. I think that's just what it is. I
But
honestly don't think
you
she
know
slept
what?
with
He
anyone.
doesn't even sound that mad to me that apparently she slept with three of his friends, according to him.
Right.
She's out
You
here
like three.
thotting it up. She slept with three of my friends or dudes that had come to the house, He doesn't seem upset about it.
Right. Which she
Like,
would.
yeah,
See?
this
Like that's not a reason. Okay, this is the mother of your child. She's supposed to be holding it down. He keeps talking about 6 year relationship, but the only time he sounds angry in 6 year relationship and emphasizing that is about her kicking him out. It had nothing to do about what when she's fattening it up and she's hoeing around. He doesn't say afterwards 6 years. We were together for 6 years and she thought it up. No, he doesn't do that, which is why I don't believe it. I don't believe
It's
it's
like,
true.
dude, you guys were together 6 years, but can you like keep it a buck and say 3 of those 6 years you were locked up? You were
Mm-hmm.
absent,
Right.
physically absent from the relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You know,
Yep.
nothing
it's
he
like,
could do.
come on.
Mm,
Where was the
I'm just
benefit for
saying.
her? Where was the benefit for her?
Right. And then he comes out with this new attitude where he's sticking out his chest like he's got boobies and doing weird posing for the camera like in a creepy like a pedo's talking to you kind of way and you gotta smile like they're gonna hurt you. Like he's very those mannerisms are very weird. Like it's not normal. He came out not normal. It's kind of like when someone comes back from war and not normal. And it's like you love them, you want the family to work and everything, but like unless they're willing to take, accept first of all that they have a problem and second of all work on it to try to you'll never be the person you were before war, but you can't be this dysfunctional version of a human either. You got to find a new functional human being to be. And he's not. Like he's lying. He's lying to try to find a woman who will take care of him. That's what it is. He's, that's why he's talking about all the stuff he has, right? Because then because that's what women do. Women get money and businesses and a house, and what do they talk about? They talk about the fact they want to find a man who ain't living in his basement. They want a man who's got his own, a man who's got this, a man who's got that to combine resources with. So he is lying and saying he's got the resources, he's got his own, so he can rope in one of those women and then hopefully he'll have her pregnant and damn near married before she figures out, oh wait, he ain't got shit after all. That's what I think he's trying to pull off today.
Because what I'm thinking, if the girl was thotting it up like he says it, all these years she hasn't gotten pregnant by any of these dudes, or no
Mm-hmm.
one with all the activity according to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's unusual.
Hmm.
Thank you. Because it's a lie. Because he can't say she kicked me out because I was abusive and controlling and just drank and wouldn't do nothing with my life. He can't say that because that's not going to get him a new woman. So just like other stories we've heard, what do? They try to paint themselves as innocent victims, right? So that way, hopefully, it'll pull on the heartstrings of a chick who's the kind of chick who wants to save you, who wants to prove to you not all women are like that. I'm telling you, he
Mm,
has a tactic. He has a goal.
well, this is not doing well, and all the stuff is on the floor and scattered around. If you own three homes, or just even the one that you're in, you're just showing a room.
Mm-hmm.
You're just zooming around a room. Not here's my kitchen, my living room, just this one room.
Yeah.
So is your mother in the other room and the other person that you're taking care of in the other room? I mean, what's going on here?
He's
Something's not
showing the
adding
room that
up.
he's renting. That's the room he's renting.
Oh,
Yeah. You know how you know that? Because his
Yeah, that
754 shoes are inside of the room with him. And
with
if you
on
rent,
no type of a shelf, no type of order to it or nothing.
right, if you have a house, if you are living in a whole house, okay, and your mom and your siblings are there, whatever, you're gonna put your shoes like in the hall closet or somewhere in the front closet, somewhere where as you're leaving the house, whatever. You're not putting all 7,000 pairs of your shoes just piled in random boxes on the floor, taking up whatever little floor space you have. You won't do it. You put it up on the wall somewhere or whatever, not in your room. I've never seen that unless you're only renting a room. So that's the
Don't
only space
forget
you've got.
that vibrating mattress because
Yo,
I didn't see a duvet cover, a comforter. I just saw
right?
a bare ass sheet, and he told us it vibrated. I'm we don't know.
Girl.
We don't
Mm-mm,
know.
mm-mm.
We do not know.
what I'm going to do is give a shout out to Vonda. She supported the channel. She has
Hmm.
made She sing, so we're going to have him to sing. And then we're gonna roll it back and look at that room again, okay? Sing, she. Thank you so much
Mm-hmm.
for your support.
Yay, she.
Mm-hmm. And I want to just say also, for new people who have arrived, 'cause I've seen some new faces in the chat that I've never seen in the chat before, whatever. If you don't know, this is an open panel, so feel free to click the link and come on up and speak your 2 cents. We love to hear from everyone, men and women. Don't worry, it's not just like a
Hit
woman
the
only
link,
thing.
fellas. Don't be shy. We don't bite.
Right, right. We like
We're
we
not
love to hear the
vicious.
male opinion. No. Well, like I am a little bit, but most of you already know that and you're fine with me. So it's fine. You'll be okay. Right? So just come on up.
Oh, that
Because
bare ass mattress. Keep
Uh
it
oh.
going, Char.
mm, mm,
All
his
right.
face bothers me. I don't know, like his face is annoying me right now. Okay, sorry, go ahead. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
I'm living. Hold on. Hold on.
Okay, that was the wall.
Right, broke down wall.
Vibrating bed.
Y'all see me?
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, did y'all see that wall? Wait a minute. Let's just back it up just like a tad second.
hmm
That wall didn't have no wall on it.
That's what I'm saying. If you go to that's the very first shot is a wall that half of it's broken. There's a wall. And not on purpose. Not like a stylized choice. I know because I love exposed brick and stuff. That's not what was happening there. This is
I
broke
ain't see
down.
no brick. That wasn't no brick over there.
Mm-mm.
Any new?
Yeah, I'm single. I'm a
I'm
bachelor. That's
single.
why I want to show y'all the room, show y'all how I'm living.
Town living.
Hold on.
See, that's right. Yeah, I love the way he talks. You see? That ain't not on purpose. That's there's no wall.
Are those
Oh,
bottles?
you
What
know
is that?
what?
That's
Okay,
bottles. Yo, that's bottles. Look at how many bottles there are.
stop it.
Bro.
This was his best representation of himself, and he expects to get dates off of this?
Bro. I wonder if
You
they're
know
empty
what?
or
We need the
full.
old Kevin Samuels back. I'm sorry, you guys. We need the old Kevin
No.
Samuels back. He needs to stop
Facts.
giving out relationship advice, and he needs to go back to basically, giving men advice on, presentation, how you should present yourself.
Right. Right. No, I agree. Girl, listen, I had to co-sign that one because this is ridiculous. This makes no sense at all that he literally focused on this part. Like, you knew you were going to do this. Okay. And then you actively chose to turn on your camera and you are going to focus, first of all, on your broke down wall. But my God, how many bottles are there? Like,
That's
empty
terrible.
or full? How drunk do you need to get, bro? Like,
What is it for? Because even if he had a business, out of the three businesses, that's fine. But why is everything in one room if you have a home?
right.
That's the
Thank
room
you.
he's renting. I'm telling you, that's the room he's renting. All of his
Mhm.
belongings stay in that room.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
can use the
100%.
bathroom and sometimes the kitchen at certain hours, but
Mm.
he's resigned to that room. That's his room. That's what he owns. That's what he pays for.
My God, that's so many bottles.
Y'all see me, lady?
The amount of shoes is ridiculous. Look at that. Look at that. Look at this. The fuck do you need that many gray shoes? Like, hold on, white, gray. Like they're all the same damn shoe practically. Why? What grown ass man that needs this many running shoes? For real.
Don't answer that.
I mean, again, and this is what you said with the style thing. And I'll tell you something, Vonda. It made a difference. I remember certain people. I think who's it? Lionel Gant. He's one of them. He had a massive shoe collection, and he started selling them off. He had them like they were like actually on his wall and stuff. His whole entire wall was just shoes, and he started selling them off. Because they're like the barely worn one time kind of like the Jordans and stuff, collectible type shoes. So you can make a
Mm-hmm.
pretty profit off of that. And he started selling them. Why? Because he's grown now. You got to get some more grown apparel. You can't focus your whole entire life in your appearance on casual clothing. So that message was working, I think, very well. And without that message, because no one else is saying it, right? Then you get this. You get a guy who probably watches the new content, right? Probably watches all the red pill spaces and is now sitting there talking about how he don't want no modern woman and he wants a woman who's this and he wants a woman who's that and he thinks he deserves a woman who deserves me. That's what he said. He wants a woman who deserves him,
A
right? Because he
fool.
is the prize.
A fool.
He is the prize. That man is the prize.
Oh,
Okay.
Mm.
okay.
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
what a
Y'all,
fool believes.
right?
He's
Gentlemen, you want to come
surprised
up
if the
here? Let me
woman
know.
that he's coming upon is homeless, destitute, ain't got no place to stay, and she gonna shack up with him in his room with the broken wall and all the bottles and the shoes.
Right. Right. I'm saying, guys, if you can explain to me, if someone's got an explanation for why it is that this man is a prize just because he has testicles, someone come and let me know. Because I don't understand. Because to me, if I won this prize, I'd give it back. It's heartbeat. No, no, thank you. Yeah, but man, you won first prize. No, it's all right. Don't worry about it. I resign. You can give it to the next runner up. I don't want it. Like, this is not a
Well,
prize.
nowadays they make you pay taxes on prizes. Would you pay taxes on that? Would you pay
No,
taxes on that?
No,
If I
I
thank
won a
you.
wouldn't take
car,
it for
I'd pay the
free.
taxes on the car. If I won the house, I'd pay taxes on the house. But if he's the prize, I wouldn't pay taxes on that.
Girl, I wouldn't take him tax free. How you mean? It's like, no.
You know what? That
No.
is so true. Y'all can keep it.
Right?
I will. I will sign it off as a donation. Give it away to
Mm-hmm.
the homeless.
Mm, mm. Tragic. Just tragic.
Right.
Our music. Tragic.
Y'all
Yes.
see me later?
Look at that pile of clothes
The- like,
in the corner. Just a pile of them.
okay. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Okay, so story time with Ruby. I've had a few today, I know. Um, but when I met Mr. Ruby, okay, the man owned a house. It's not like he owned nothing, went about nothing, whatever, right? But the point is that this man piled everything, and he had a dresser. He had several dressers, but he didn't use the dressers. He would pile clothing on top of the dressers. And then he knew which piles of clothing were the clean clothing, which piles of clothing were the dirty clothing, which piles of clothing were the need to iron for work clothing. And I'm like, dude, so what? But there's a dresser right there, right? And then he said to me, he goes, well, that dresser's just kind of old and broken. I was going to buy a new one. Yeah, but in the meantime, you can still use this one, right? You could just fold shit and put it into the dresser. So I remember the first time I stayed at his house, that's what I did. He went out for a bit to, I can't remember, probably grocery shop or something. And, I just did the laundry, figured out which piles were which, folded stuff, put it in the drawers. I don't know. Guys are not like their attention to detail is not the same as women's. Women care about detail. We really do. We care about the little details, and that's why men and women are a great team, right? Because men think more about the larger details, the broad strokes, and women, think better about the little details. Like, fine, I understand that you're lazy, but if you just washed and then dried your clothes, took the stuff out of the dryer immediately, folded it immediately, put it away immediately, you would then spend less time having to iron clothes because they wouldn't be crumpled up in piles all over your room. Right? Like, it's just like, I don't know. To me, this seems like common sense, but like, he was just missing it. So I'm
Wow.
going to give him a pass on the piles because, and I don't know, men are not great when it comes to laundry, just in general. They're just not great at it.
The bed vibrate. I got a remote for the
Oh,
bed. The
so
bed
tacky.
vibrate, lift up. It's like a hospital bed. I got my own house. The reason I'm living in this side is because I take care of my mom and my little brother. I take care of my whole family. She left me thinking that I was just going to go back to jail, and I ran it up. I won up on her. I got 2 houses back to back. My mama and my whole family stay next door. My mama ain't paid rent in 2 years.
Okay.
Real bachelor. I'm a real bachelor. Yeah,
That makes
I'm
no
looking
sense.
for somebody. You know what I'm saying?
He said
I got
real.
look, and I'm a rapper. I'm not trying to promote my
How are you a
shit,
bachelor who
but
lives
it's
with your
Messy
mother?
Gang, Messy World. Y'all look me up on YouTube, Panyard, Bambino, Panyard.
Okay, Raymond.
Bambino,
No.
Bandeanyo.
Raymond.
It's me. You know, like, I've only been out for 3 years. I got 3 houses, 6 cars. Like, you don't gotta have what I got, but don't be no city girl ass female. Don't sit. Oh, that's why
You
I'm
sell
still a
drugs?
bachelor after 3 years. I'm
Mm-hmm.
going through a lot. I'm fighting for my son. I'm a black man out here in the Midwest. It's different out here. I'm really from Atlanta, but it's different out here in the Midwest.
Okay.
They trying to hang niggas. Tell me.
So Raymond, what kind of woman are you looking for then?
A woman that's gonna help me elevate, a woman that's got her stuff going on and ready to, a woman that's gonna, you know what I'm saying, add to my team, help me go up. Not a woman to take care of, because that's what's wrong. A lot of these females want a nigga to take care of them, and I got it. I got money on the stage. I'm caked up.
Okay,
You coked
could the
up,
woman
that's
have
for
kids?
sure.
Could the woman, Raymond, could the woman have kids?
Yeah,
No,
but
no,
I
I
mean,
just-
it
no.
just depends.
She's
Like,
feminine.
it's like if you got kids, your personality got to be kind of like really, you feel me?
Could
You
she eat
gotta
bananas?
really be.
No.
Could she eat
Still don't feel
bananas?
you. Still don't.
You gotta watch how you eat it at work. You can eat bananas, but you gotta watch how you eating it at work.
Oh, God.
All right, Raymond, we spent a lot of time with you.
All right, but look, y'all
No,
did
you
y'all
look,
did my
Raymond,
boy wrong.
I'm gonna hang up on you. I'm gonna hang up on you. We
right.
spent a lot of time on you. If a woman, first of all, your friend already called up. He a grown ass man. He can take care of himself. You worry about yourself.
No, that's my brother. I live for my brother. I ain't got nobody. My son gone. My baby mama holding my son. All I got is my brother. Y'all
How
can't
does she have
shame my
nobody?
niggas on here, man. He
How
a
does she have
good
nobody?
dude. Real nigga. He getting money. He going to work.
I thought he had his
Gun
mom.
legal. He a good dude. I know y'all labeled 5 baby mamas, 7 kids, but he a good dude. I just sold him. He a good dude. I just sold him.
Wait,
showed him.
sure.
He
Sure,
sold.
hold on.
He cut it
Wait.
off and then tried it again.
Well, wait, sure, hold on. Is he saying that the guy that we did the other week
Yes,
that had 5 baby mamas with 7
Yes.
kids, that's his brother?
that's his friend, and he,
Oh,
friend
Okay,
that's,
you know what? It's time to hang up. Hit the hang up button right the F now.
Oh no! Oh no! 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 Of course they're friends. Of course they are. Oh my god!
This is the Fool's Dial In show. That's what this is. The Fool's Dial In.
Yo, and
Next
the last
week's
guy was a
fool's
high
gonna
value
be-
man.
Oh God.
Well, the last time the guy said the one from the 5 baby mama 7 kids, he was a high value man. Y'all remember, right? One of the factors of being a high value man is that you are in a high value circle. This dude is in his circle. This dude is in his circle.
Sounds
he's a
like
high
it
value
looks like a circle of dust to me. It's looking really cloudy over there.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't even believe this is real. Yo, I didn't book that the first time. The first time he was talking about it, I didn't catch it. Wait, hold on.
I missed
Wait.
it too. It totally just skipped me. I'm looking at this fool flip around all through this damn, dusty room, and here he come talking about his homeboy. He ain't got a baby mama. She done took his kid. So now all he got is his homeboy. Oh gosh, stop it.
Bro, listen, if y'all didn't understand this, I hear it a lot when we talk about women, talking about birds of a feather flock together, okay? And certain types of friends you should drop and whatnot. If you have people like him or Mr. Five baby mama, seven kids over there, okay? You need to, and you're not like them yet, drop them immediately. Because birds of a feather flock together is true. That you're going to find yourself caught up in a situation because the people around you who are giving you advice think like this. If people who think like this can only steer you into slowly becoming them, right? And baby steps on the pathway to hell. You need to excise people like this. If you're a man, you're looking at this dude and you're like, oh, well, that kind of reminds me of my man, but he's a good guy and his heart's in the right place. But no, no, no. As we said earlier, and I see a salute down there to King Petty. He showed up. Listen, as I said before, enabling ain't shitness is a real disease. And that's what this dude is looking for. He's just asking you to continue enabling his delusion and his ain't shitness. You don't want it. Run. Run. Don't walk. Run.
All right, let's see what else he got.
Nothing legal. He a good dude. I know y'all labeled 5 baby mamas, 7 kids, but he a good dude. I just sold him. He a good dude. I just sold him 3 cars.
You just sold him 3 cars?
Yes. He's a good dude.
He bought
He's on
3
his
cars?
shit.
He bought 3 cars.
You love
from
the number 3.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, listen. Thank you for the cosign.
I got titles. Y'all want to see the title?
No, we do not want to see the
y'all
title.
trying to play him. Raymond, let me see the room.
We're going, Raymond. We're going. If
Love
you want
y'all.
to
Hey,
talk out to Raymond.
Hold on. Can I please outro, please?
Wait,
Please.
hold on. Just give them your Instagram name for those who may be interested.
Okay, for those who may be interested in your boy, my Instagram is at Bandeño, BANDEANYO. Check out my music, support my record label, support my business. I'm an entrepreneur, self-made.
No, so this is for love only. So if a woman was interested in dating you, that's why she would hit you. Bye, baby.
No faith in humanity anymore. Can we see the part where he's doing the thing he's doing, not posing up? Because I really want people to understand when we're talking about this, because women do use the whole gay thing as an attack, an unfair attack against men, right? And so I want people to see what we saw, just in case they're coming in a little late, so they can understand, because I know it's going to come up again in conversation at some point. I want them to see what we saw, for them to understand. The man went to prison. He's freaking out over the way you eat a banana, just the idea of it in his head, okay? And he's very, very thin with long hair and a pretty face. Don't look that tough in prison. And then he does this when he wants to present himself to get a date. I just need y'all to see it so you understand. We're not doing the typical, shaming men. It's unfair. We're using this as, no. No. It's not unfair.
I want to see when he starts flipping his hair back and he starts posing and cheesing.
Look at this. Look at this.
Let it sing. I'm a bad
Miss America. He's doing his Miss America pose.
Let her sing.
Y'all see this?
Y'all like that?
See this?
Take care. Y'all got them racks.
Hey, y'all.
Bro, if you put a female head, if you just took away the beard, you would swear that was a woman.
Is this my best guy? Peep this.
right? Like that's not
Stop.
normal. That's not how men present themselves. It's not. Not when they're looking for men, not when they're looking for women, right? Like, and that's why I said, I'm like, yo, if you're a twin, right? And to be fair, okay, let me explain what that is. It's not a derogatory term. It's just a term in the LGBTQ community that's talking about guys who, like guys, and they're very skinny and they have that skinny small build. So they're not like, dressing in women's clothing, and they just have a very small, slender build, the way women would have a small, slender build. So that's what I'm referring to. That's what he reminds me of. That's I'm looking at it. The way he's cheesing, the way he's got his chest poked out, shoulders back like that, the way he's wiggling up his shoulders and posing to the camera. Like, dude, listen, I come from a vain family. Everyone in my family is vain. That means we all love having a camera on us. So I've seen men who love having a camera on them, and they don't do this. They don't. Right? They're always trying to flex their muscles. They're always putting their shoulders forward to try to emphasize, pec muscles and biceps and whatever. They don't do this. This is what they do when they're mocking women. It's weird. Unless you're advertising for what you're really looking for, which is not women.
Oh boy, that would be
Oh,
something. Well, like I said, I don't know what it is with three. He loves the number three. He just really does.
three
Everything is
Right?
in
cars,
three.
3 years.
Yeah,
Right?
three
He's got three
houses,
houses,
three businesses.
right? Three houses, three businesses. He's got three cars. He just sold his boy, who's a good boy, three cars.
Oh, that's right. He has 6. He sold 3 of them. That means he got 3 left. Three's his lucky number. Three's his lucky number.
Right? I mean, come on. That sounds totally true, right? If everything I told you about my life was in the same number, would you believe that it's true? Like, I have $3 million. I have three Mercedes Benz. I own three condos and three houses. Okay? Y'all, I got three businesses. All right? I have three Versace watches. Like, and three Rolexes. If every time I said something expensive, I just said the word three, would you believe me? Like, does that sound realistic to you? And if he's lying about everything else, we know. Here's the thing. I want to make it clear. Okay, this is not a channel that just tapes for women. Okay, this is not a Nancy Men channel. For those of y'all who are new, who've wandered in, apparently it's coming up on some people's recommendations. So you might be wandering in and you're listening from the clouds and you're thinking, oh God, no, these women. No, listen, we're not that kind of channel. Okay, we're calling out ain't shitness when we see it. This is a lot of big shitness, and I don't
Yeah,
believe
it's a
him.
lot.
Right? I don't believe him about the woman. I think that woman is doing everything she can to protect her child from an unstable alcoholic who needs to get his shit together before he's around his kid. Because I don't care. I think every man has a right to be around his child. Likewise, women have a right to be with their child, and their child needs both parents. However, if you are a disaster and you're destructive, it's worse for you to be around your kid. So emotionally, you might want to be around your kid. It might be better for you. But for the child, it's not better if you're showing up, you're high, you're drunk, and you're a disaster. And then you're combative and you're this and you're that. That's not a good situation for kids to be around. And before my cousin um, went to Penn again, I'm guessing this time for life, but whatever, um, he was in the same situation and he was not with the rest of the weird stuff, but
Uh huh.
he was in the same situation as far as he was very upset that he wasn't allowed to see his kid. But the people keeping away from his variety of kids, he has more than one. They're all with the same woman, and neither him nor the mother are allowed to see the kids. That's how much of a disaster the two parents are, and the kids are with different one with each different kind of parent, right? So now they're both very upset that they can't see their kids. But the problem is when you show up on, Christmas Day or the last time you showed up, you were drunk, you were high, you got into a violent fight, da 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 da, that traumatized your kids. The guardians of the kids are going to say, hell no, I'm sorry, you can't be around your kids right now. I don't trust you, and I'm not going to let you ruin Christmas Day for them. I'm not going to let you ruin their birthday. I'm not going to let you do this. Right? They're under my care for a reason. You can't put your kids first, so I'm going to do it for you. And this is something that I'm seeing in this guy. He's so selfish and childish. And so he thinks that he should be allowed to live in the house for his own sake, and who cares about everyone else? He thinks that he should be allowed to see his kid for his sake, and who cares about the effect he'd have on the kid or what kind of state he should be in when he sees the kid. And like I'm seeing so much entitlement and so much selfishness in a very otherwise very destructive person. It's very sad.
It is sad because he mentioned all his things that he owned and everything, but how did that come to him so easily? I doubt if it was, if these things were true. So I don't
And he
know
doesn't
about
seem
that.
happy about it.
Yeah, it seemed like he would
I
be
would lock up.
happier to fight and get
Yeah,
his child.
I think, if what he says is true, he was locked up for 3 years. He gets out, he goes and stays with his child's mother and her aunt with his child. After a month, he gets put out for whatever reason. We can,
Hmm.
assume, as much as we like, but he gets put out, but he comes back. He comes back strong. He gets not only one house, but three. He gets not only one car, but six. And on top of that, he's got a vibrating bed, and he has a room full of shoes and empty beer bottles that you could to no end.
Yeah,
So why is he not
Mm-hmm.
happy? Why is he not satisfied, with that? Now he's looking for a woman, not a city girl, you know. He wants a demure, quiet, I would assume, not thoughting it up type woman who's
Mm-hmm.
going to elevate him, that he doesn't
Right.
have to take care of, and she has her own stuff together.
See, Sharp, for the record, I just want to
uh-huh.
point out, okay, for y'all who don't know, me and Shar were doing a radio show for a long time, and at one point we had the song "She's Got Her Own" playing, right? And Shar's like, "This is all cap. No man would say this," and I'm like, "No, Shar, it's true. My generation, and younger, there are guys who really genuinely want that. They want a woman who has her own." Shar's like, "That's not true. I just want to point out." See, there you go. You heard it right there. He said it from his own mouth. I want a woman who's got her own. I never said that the guys who say that are functional or decent human beings. I just said that there's a lot of guys who say it these days. That's all I'll say. That's all I'll say.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I don't think they would be all that happy. But okay, you know.
Oh,
All
no.
right. That's what you say you want. Okay. All right.
Right? I
I
mean,
don't.
that's it though, right? What else can you do? I think, you know, here's the thing. And I said this, on the radio, y'all, so I'll say it again. I think it's a reasonable thing in this day and age, only because the majority of two-person households, right, marriages or cohabitations,
Mhm.
require a two-person income in order for you to live at the middle class or upper middle class, in order for you to save while taking care of your kids and so on and so forth. So in that case, I understand the mentality, because unless you're making a lot of money or you're really good with balancing the books and da da da, or you live somewhere that's a little more reasonable, you need a woman who maybe he doesn't come and she's not owning a bunch of stuff, she doesn't have all this in savings, but more that she's actually motivated to work and to earn and to, build something as well, because it's going to make it better for your family if you've got two people who are working, and actively trying to pursue, promotions and whatnot. So that way, your life can be easier, your retirement can be easier, you can provide for your kids' educations and stuff. So I think that's why the mentality is shifted. It's just because it's not realistic in this day and age to say, I'm going to be the sole provider and you stay at home and take care of the kids and we can afford this just fine. It's so easy. Like,
That's
I don't,
true.
you
I
know?
agree with you because think about it. You got no pensions, and depends on the type of job. I
Hmm.
still say no pension because that state go broke bankrupt. That's next. They gonna cut that out. They're like, oh, you know what? Sorry, we just can't do it. About time you got 60, whatever the age is. Oh, I'm sorry. you about 10 years too late. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
So you don't have your pensions. And then
Mhm.
as far as education, no telling how much that would be if your child want a particular, let's say, be a physician. Well, they have to go to school for that. There's no online studying. So
Mhm.
that's a lot of loans. A
Yeah. A
lot of
lot.
loans.
A lot. Right? Especially your kid gets into the Ivy League, right? I mean, god damn, was it like $100,000 a year tuition? If you live out of state of whatever Ivy League when you went into, or even just regular ones like Penn State and stuff like that, right? Like it's incredibly expensive for you to get into one of the prestigious schools, but at the same time, the
Right.
prestigious school might be a better future bet as far as building your future because you know that Harvard or whatever carries the prestige that you need to get into the prestigious law firm or whatever it is, right? So I mean, it's and then as parents, you want to be able to provide, but who's got $400,000 a year offhand? You know, funneled into the school. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it. On top of the what minimum 500,000 mortgage for your house, on top of all of the medical care, dental care, and stuff like that your kids need, on top of clothing, on top of food, on top of diapers. I mean, god damn, right? You got two kids, you need millions of dollars, like just to give them a semi decent life. So, I understand the mentality. In his case, I don't think he's doing it in that way, mind you, right? I'm not caping for him. I think he's a whole disaster, and
Right.
he's saying it because he's looking for a mother, right? More than anything, right? But I'm just saying, I do think
A
that,
mother? Oh, okay.
oh yeah, well, come on, he's turning around. He forgets his own lies. That's why I think he's on coke. Um, because you know, one moment he's got his mother and his siblings that he's currently taking care of inside of his house, and one of his properties because he has three. And then on the other side, he has absolutely nobody because they took his kid from him and his girl won't come back to him. So now he's alone. But I
And he
thought he
should
was
be
with his
happy.
mother.
He should be happy the way he was saying and thoughting it up and thoughting it up and thoughting it up and all of that. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
okay, well, that would affect your son, the raising of your son. So
Right.
it seemed like he would be a little bit more aggressive about getting some type of custody with his son. Now, I wanted to point
Mm-hmm.
out, he mentioned earlier in the video that they didn't want him to come by because he used to
Mm-hmm.
come by all the time, every day,
Every day.
to
Uh-huh.
see
Yeah.
his son. I'm like, he doesn't realize you just don't go to people's house any time of the day. 6 o'clock in the evening this day, 2 o'clock in the morning 2 days later. You just don't do that. You get some type of schedule. So they
Right.
weren't really turning him away because they don't want him to see his son. He just wasn't being reasonable with a time. That's all that was about. With all his, businesses. I know he's busy, 6 figures and all, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
I
Yeah.
think he was showing up the way. If y'all saw this video, I can't remember exactly what the title was of it or whatever. But anyway, this man, he was saying he was frustrated. His baby moms wasn't letting him see his kid. Now we don't really know all the details of that, but what we do know is that in this particular video, he shows up at the crack of dawn before the kids would even be awake because they're children, not newborns. Demanding to see his kids, and he's got a gun on him. Who is going to
Oh,
let you see your kids
Oh my
when you
God.
clearly rolled in from the after hours, probably drunk and high, right? Very irrational with a gun on you, and you want to see kids right now? And you show up at the baby mom's and the new man's house,
oh, oh no,
right?
no,
Now,
no.
I'm not saying that, because she got a new man, she should not let the man see his kid. No, what I'm saying though is like, dude, you're showing me right now why they're not letting you see the kids because this is how you show up. If this is how you're showing up, every time you show up, you've been drinking, okay? You come in with the edge on your shoulder, a weapon on you, braced for a fight, and you want them to let the kids come be in your presence when you're like that, like it's not rational, you know? The fact that you refuse to just come correct, you know what? Yo, hold it. I listen, I was an alcoholic. Another story time with Ruby. I'm full of them today. Okay. But I was a legit alcoholic, y'all. Like I really was. And but I was not a day drinker. Okay. My drinking did not start until after dark. But once it started getting close to after dark, I started getting this anxiety that would build up in my chest. And I'm telling you, if I let it go about 3, 4 hours by 11 p.m., I was ready to explode. I was angry. I was irritable. I felt like I was literally going to die. Like my head might actually physically explode. I was not okay. But that being said, once a week I would see my baby sister. I don't even have kids, but I would see my baby sister. We would watch Vampire Diaries together, and I would just bite down and hold that feeling. And, you know, I gotta suffer with it because I'm not gonna be around my sister when I'm drinking. Because even though, yeah, the first like 10 beers I'm fine, it's great, but I'm still not gonna, expose her to me drinking. Do you know what I mean? I'm gonna wait. No matter how hard it is, I'm
Well,
gonna
you had
wait.
some sort of control. I mean, even in that, this wasn't even
Mhm,
your child that you carried for 9 months and gave birth to. It's your baby
right.
sister, but you didn't want to show up, around her all
Mhm,
jacked up on alcohol. So you're like, you know what?
right.
I'll put you to the side till I'm done visiting her. Then I'm gonna let it rip. I mean, at some point,
Exactly.
can you like put it away or set it aside for a child
Mhm.
that you contributed to this child's birth?
Right. Exactly. And I don't
Yeah.
think he can, right? Again, he put down the phone to pop a bottle open in 3 minutes of conversation. He couldn't even hold it off that long. And his point was to basically peacock, right? He's here to sit there and show himself off at his best and explain his life story at his best to try to get a woman. And even in that, he couldn't just not pop the bottle for 10 minutes of conversation. Like, he's got problems, man. He's got some
Well,
serious problems.
at least it's displayed. You know exactly what you're going to choose if that's what you know,
Hmm.
choose to have. What you're going to get. And yeah. And that's one thing I say, that if people would actually answer questions, you can make a better decision. You wouldn't be wasting people's time.
Hmm.
Mhm.
That's the way I look at it. If hey, what's your name? How old are you? You have any children? You live far away. You into when was your last? What was that Miss Regina used to say? Because it was the industry she was in, and she said you always ask this question. When was your last uh, physical relationship with the same sex? That's not how you say it, but whichever
Hmm.
way you have to say it, because she had it. And when she was talking to me, I'm like, wow, really? She said, yeah. You have to ask those questions, and I'm like, wow,
Hmm.
I didn't realize that, but um,
Hmm.
that's something that you need to consider. And
Yeah.
ask the person, see how it throws them off guard, or if they like, oh yeah, child, I'm into that. Oh really?
If
Oh,
if they're like
I'm
a
not,
cat,
but thank
land
you.
on their feet. They're like, okay, you couldn't throw me off.
So I'm like, it will just cut down on a lot of things, and you have to take accountability because you asked the questions, you got the answer. If you proceeded, that was on you.
Right
Right. Yeah.
again.
And that's why I like, go on, Peacock Raymond, do your thing. The ladies know what they're gonna get. Which shouldn't be, no one should be calling you, but hey, there you
Well,
go.
that's the thing. I think, unfortunately, right, and I guess my general issue stands that I really think that people are not as smart as they used to be. They're not. So what ends up happening is people buy in to people's lies and bullshit,
Oh boy.
right? And so that's what worries me for this situation is that someone's
Hmm.
going to believe that he's got something like at all. Like, oh yeah, he's got this, he's got that, and I want to be a good woman. I want to be the kind of woman that helps a man build. I want to be a ride or die chick. That's how women get caught up in this bullshit. It really is. Um, like people who know me from behind the scenes, they know that I have a friend who's caught up in some bullshit, and it's really stressful to me because I'm listening to it. I'm like, oh God, when the way she paints the story, right?
Mhm.
Of the way that the relationship's been. I've been like, bro, you could see this coming a mile away. But she couldn't see it coming a mile away, right? Because if she saw it coming, she wouldn't be there, right? So like it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I feel so bad for her and whatever, and I get it, but like the problem is again, women get caught up because they want to believe in guys, because they don't want to be that chick. Because the sob story again, you hear it and you go, "Oh, that woman was terrible," and you do deserve a break in life, and I'll be that person who gives you that break, and blah blah blah. And before you know it, you got a bunch of kids. It's decades later, and you're like, "Oh my God, I screwed up." But by then, it's too late. You've given your womb away. You've probably given a marriage away, even. You've wasted a lot of time and energy. And for women, time is a valuable resource because our fertility goes away, because our youth and beauty goes away. And unlike men, we don't get to sit there and get older and then more attractive as we get older. You know what I mean? Like, no one's saying, oh man, I just love a woman with good set of crow's feet, right? Like, it's not happening. Oh, she looks so distinguished and even more beautiful because of those smile lines. Like, no one's saying that, right? So we have to be protective of ourselves in our youth, because that's the time that
Yeah.
we are like that's one thing I will agree with, the rhetoric that they're saying. Yeah, we have to be more careful, and we have to be better decision makers and a little less empathetic and a little more cutthroat when it comes to our male decisions, because
I
dude.
completely agree with that. I
Yeah.
think, nowadays the level of discernment, you know, that people in general use when they're dating is just, very low level. Now,
Mm-hmm.
this guy, I mean, he came on and he talked about his child's mother, which is basically a woman. This is not the type of woman he wants. He doesn't want a woman who's starting it up and wants to sleep with his friends. He wants a woman that's into him and only him. Okay.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, do you think that there's going to be a woman who's like, I'll be her. You had a bad break. You went to jail and she didn't wait for you. I'm going to show you what a good woman really is.
Yes, that's the unfortunate thing, is yes, I absolutely think that.
And I
And I've
agree.
seen it
And
happen
I
more
think
than
that's very
once.
sad. I think that's
Hmm.
very sad.
It
I
is.
agree.
Yeah. Yep, it is. Because see, what happens is you really believe. See, when especially once feelings get involved, right? Like you start believing, right? So you believe everything they tell you. So when you say, "Oh, my baby mom, she was a terrible person. She was a crackhead. She was this and she was that," and you go, "Oh my God, that's horrible." Yeah, no wonder. Yeah, man, she just screwed me in the divorce and she took all my money. And you're like, "Oh my God, yeah, she's a horrible woman." Yeah, I understand why you ain't got shit right now and why you need help getting on your feet. Okay, yeah, absolutely. And then you know what? You're years in, and then the real side starts to show, and you're like, "Oh, this is probably exactly what happened to her." Yeah, yeah. You were always full of shit. I got it now. But by then you've already got the kid. You know what I mean? You've invested $25,000 into his quote unquote rat career that was doesn't even really exist. It's like it's too late now. It's too late for you to turn around and say, "Okay, my bad." Right? Like there's no do overs in life. You can't just say, "Yeah, no, this was a bad idea. I'm gonna rewind 4 years." go go back to brighter times. Try to do better.
Well, it's
Okay.
definitely a true red flag. The fact that, he started out his, I'm trying to find me a new woman video, basically, dragging the last woman that he was with,
Right.
for the most part. So it's like, okay, well, if you're dragging her so hard, baby boy, you're not over her.
Yeah.
So you're
Hmm.
trying to move on to something new, but you're still stuck on her. Um, Maybe this is not the best situation for you, to be trying to find somebody new. Maybe you
Right.
should work on yourself, self improvement. I'm telling you, this is why they need the old Kevin Samuels back. I'm sorry. They need
Hmm.
the old Kevin Samuels back, where it just talks to men, try to help them sort their emotions, and be a little bit more diplomatic about how they sort through these things. Don't be
Hmm.
emotional. This dude is bouncing off the wall with emotions and the alcohol that's running through his system when he's not thinking things through, because everything is
Hmm.
about what she did and what she didn't do. And you know you know what, he didn't even really talk about her bad. I mean, he could have like really drug her for filth, but he did it. But you can tell he's still stuck on her, because why
Yeah.
would most of the conversation be about her?
Yeah,
Right.
because he kept saying we were together 6 years.
Hmm.
6 years.
Yep. Yep. Like Vonda said earlier, it's like you more so wanted a Dr. Phil, you wanted just someone to come in and tut and there, and oh my God, that's so terrible, and tell you how to get your girl back, because that's really what he wants. Like, I don't think he wants a kid. He just wants the girl back. I think he thinks that
Mm.
if he can somehow win custody, then she'll be like, well, fine. If he gets custody, then the only way I can see my kid every day is to be with him. Fine. That's what I think. That's his goal. I don't think he actually, and I'm sorry to say this, and I know it sounds harsh, but I don't think he really cares about the kid necessarily. I honestly don't. It just didn't really seem like the kid. He kept using that as like
Uh-huh.
a selling point, the way men do sometimes, where they're like, feel sorry for me. But as far as him actually sounding like, I mean, when did we heard more about the woman than we ever heard about the kid? You could almost forget
Yeah.
in some parts that there was a kid because he just never really mentioned it. Like, you know, like other than again selling points that men would use to try to sell themselves, like, I take my kid to the park because I'm a good family man that way. But anyway, back to the woman. Okay, sure, yeah,
Yeah. And Vonda, what I'll say to you wanting the old Kevin Samuels back, I don't think he's willing to take the pay cut. Sorry.
no, no,
Yeah, you know what? If I was a sorry woman, I'd probably do it too. But no, I understand how bad it is for us black women. So I'm not going to contribute to the negativity, in that way. But I mean, you know
mm,
what? But there is a need for, you know, men to be able to talk to other men about real stuff,
mm-hmm,
about, how they should present themselves, things they should do. But from my understanding, apparently that type of commentary, he didn't do very well with it. I mean, the men, rejected it vehemently. They fought him tooth and nail. What? I got to put a suit on. What?
mm-hmm,
Cologne? Are you kidding me? You know.
right,
So it
yeah.
it's it's
Make
it's
more
sad.
money, work longer. What?
Well, you know what? To be fair, there is a content creator, right? Listen, we're not like an ad or whatever, but there is a content
Well,
creator
yeah.
called Saint and Sinners. Um, and I mean, in fact, if anything, he did a critique of Kevin Samuels. But point is, he is an image consultant in real life, right? Like, he actually has a business in real life. He's actually given many talks. Like, he's been asked to speak places. He's been written up. I actually did some research into him because I wanted to see like who the hell is he? Because I didn't really know who he was until he came out with this big critique, and it was a whole thing and whatever. But he actually does do image consulting, and he does like direct like kind of consultations with guys as far as their image and dressing and whatever. But again, even him, he's shifting his content. Why? Because as far as when we're talking about YouTube, it doesn't pay. It doesn't self
Yeah.
improvement doesn't pay like that unless it's a get rich quick scheme, right? You have to sell it in some type of way that it's get rich quick, get a lot of kitty quick, stuff like that. Like, that's the only way that you can sell it, because people are not interested in fixing themselves. People are interested in whining. They're interested, so they love it. They love a good violin song. They love a good find a way to blame someone else for my problems. They love a good let's drag other people. They love all that type of stuff. They love drama. They love bullshit. But what they don't love is a lot of just reality. Just saying, oh, you mean if I did something different, my outcomes would be different? Okay, let me try doing something different. They hate that. Like that's not what people want these days at all. Mm-mm.
That's true. That's too hard. No, I don't want to. No, get that away
Well,
from me.
I'm going to generalize a little bit, and I'm going to say that women, more or less, that type of content really appeals more to women than it does to men. Hence the phrase or the term level up. You really hear about women leveling up, but you don't hear about men doing that because men, for the most part, and I'm speaking generally, they don't like to be told what to do and how to do it. And if
Mm.
you are trying to tell them what to do and how to do it, well, who are you to be telling me that I
Oh
need to
yeah.
be doing this? you
Mm-hmm.
know if I'm over here dragging these women, I'm all for it. I'm about to jump in the chat and listen to every word you have to say, and praise the church for this good commentary. But if you're
Yep.
trying to tell me how to turn it around and get women, I don't need to know all that. Either they gonna like me or they not, whatever. I
Something
mean,
wrong
like
with
I
Mm-hmm.
said,
them. Yeah.
I just think women, tend to do more of the self improving as opposed to men.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. I mean, but even I mean, and like some woman, like I said, I started off by saying I was into chat. This woman's calling me a pick me, um, because I was simply saying that, like, hey, listen, you're going to describe a type of woman. I'm not going to argue with you that that type of woman exists. The type of woman who's rather empty-headed, who's hypergamous. He used in his example about her using her kids as an excuse to da 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 da, and it's basically shit testing and whatever. So I literally said, like, dude, if you're looking for that kind of woman, great. Use these tactics. If this is the woman you're looking for, you want the woman who's hypergamous, who's got maybe a kid or two, who's only going to settle down and stop, the carousel, quote unquote, for the guy who dominates her the most and da 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 da. If that's what you're looking for, great. Listen to this and use these tactics on women, but understand that these tactics are only going to work on that kind of woman because the kind of woman you claim you want, a traditional minded woman, a woman who's not into playing games, who wants to have like a real marriage and a real relationship and a real family and da da da, and has more traditional values. If you do this kind of stuff to her, she's going to shut you down and never talk to you again,
Yeah.
ever. You will never recover from that because she's gonna say, "Oh, you're one of those creeps," and you'll be like, "But I thought this is, I was, I was trying to prove my dominance." She's gonna be like, "Well, you're a man. You should just
Hmm.
live that, right?" So, I mean, I was trying to help, and this chick's over here saying, "Pick me lunch."
Dang.
First of all, who the hell are you? Second of all, listen, no one's trying to come for your pick me spot on this channel, okay? I already got a man. I ain't looking for no YouTube man. You do you, girl. You can snatch them all up with your blonde hair. I don't need them, okay? But it just goes to show you, like, there's this broke down mentality somewhere where it's like, no, I'm trying to help y'all. It's just, you can keep pretending women are this bottom 5% monolith, but they're not, first of all. Nor are all women good. Like, the whole problem was not talking about the way to talk to a good woman or approach a good woman or the rules you should follow with a good woman. That wasn't the problem. The problem is that there's just more than that kind of woman, you know? And I say good to say, like, as in, the
Uh-huh.
stereotypes that come with it. But the point is, there's a whole bunch of different kinds of women with a whole bunch of different mindsets and values and whatever. And so different things are going to work on different women. So first you got to figure out, what kind of woman are you looking for real? What kind of woman are you looking for? And what kind of things does that kind of woman value? Right?
Right.
Because whatever that woman values in a man, in life, in a future, right? You've got to be that.
Yep.
You've got to be able to provide that, and I don't mean monetarily wise, I mean everything else. So when you first speak to her, she's got to see that that's a possibility from you, you know So you've got to become that. So really the best thing you could do when it comes to the pickup game and finally getting a good woman and whatever is change you first. That's the best thing you can do is work on you, change you, establish you, figure out what the hell your square is so you can stand firmly on it, figure out what the hell your code is so you can live by it at all times, develop yourself, become self-actualized, get you a career path, whatever that may be, and be willing to follow that. Start leading yourself, in essence. You need to start leading yourself, become fully established, knows exactly who you are, what you're about, and what you're looking for, so that way you can put that on the table. What are you guys bringing to the table, women? Women aren't supposed to bring things to the table. You're supposed to put down what you want on the table, and she's supposed to go, yes, I can fulfill that. Yes, that works for me, or no, I'm sorry, it doesn't.
Yep,
That's it.
that's why the short answer should be nothing
Right.
as you walk away
Yep.
slowly.
Right?
Slowly. Yep.
Let me
Yep. Nothing.
come back. Do 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 do. They all you get is
Mm-hmm.
the glimpse of your back.
Right? I'm saying, and that's not to say men don't get to have standards and men don't get no, that's not what it is. What it has to do with is the fact that men are supposed to be setting something. They're setting standards and goals for what it is that they want and need from a wife. That's what they're supposed to do. And then she either can or can't fulfill that. But if you don't know what the hell it is that you want, so you need her to come and bring a list of stuff to you so you can say, oh, well, that kind of sounds cool. Okay, maybe I can work with that. No, that's not the way it works.
That
That's
is
that's
ridiculous. That is
right.
ridiculous. Here, who has their list? Oh, here, I got my list.
I got it from
Okay, you got
YouTube.
you got job, you don't have no kids. Oh yeah, this list is great. That is
Mm,
ridiculous. It just sounds
right.
to me like these dudes, I'm gonna say him and the dude with the five baby mamas and seven
Oh
kids.
God. Mm-hmm.
It's like they were not looking for, too much with regards to quality.
No.
Um they were just looking for a warm body, and hopefully they found her attractive,
Yeah.
because everything that they said was, you know, this dude, he was very vague. Oh, she needs to uplift me or elevate me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
can you be just a little bit more specific?
Right.
You know,
Nope.
um, no,
Yeah.
she just needs to elevate me. She needs to
Right.
elevate me, and I'm not sure
Just put him
what
on the
that looks
bed and
like.
he'll be
Yeah.
taller. That's all. And turn the
Yeah, I'm
machine
not
on.
sure what
And
that
as
looks
he
like.
vibrates, he'll go up and down. So he'll be 8 feet tall, 8.5 inches, 8 feet tall, 8.5 inches.
Oh,
And there's his
yeah.
elevation.
Can we talk about how tacky and disgusting that is? Okay, let's be real. Let's pretend he wasn't all of the problems that he is. Let's pretend he was a good enough guy, looks and personality and whatever, that you got to his bedroom. How
Oh.
would you guys feel about the vibrating bed?
Boy, bye. Um,
Right?
Uh,
no.
It's
I don't know
weird.
what's going on with
Where's your
that.
comforter? Where's your comforter? You want me to sit on this bare ass sheet? There's no top sheet, I don't see a pillow shade, a bed skirt, nothing. It's just a bare ass sheet with and it vibrates. That's not appealing.
And and if I
Eh,
was
I don't
uh,
know. That seems like that's something very personal that he needs at night.
right,
Why?
right,
I don't know. What's going on? He need cradling? I don't know.
something weird. Like okay, like pretend there was a comfort and everything though. It's set up totally normally like a normal bed. Only then he goes to you. Yeah, and it vibrates, girl. See the switch? We can make it vibrate. Like, how would you feel about that? Because I was like, I don't know. There's something so
Wait,
icky and
for
like
Yeah.
what? What do you need the vibration for? What is that for?
sex,
That
I
that would be
guess.
my question. What do you need it to vibrate for? What's
Right,
what's
Yeah, I
that all
wouldn't quite
about?
ask him that way. I'm like, oh, that's nice. How often do you use it? And I'll
right.
ask him questions. I'm not answering nothing
No, because
as I
like to
walk
me,
out
it
the
just
door.
reminds me of like those cheesy, dirty flea bag motels that you can rent by the hour. mostly for prostitution purposes. Like that's what it reminds me of.
I'm
So
Yeah.
sorry, I just watched, Good Times, and that was a time with JJ and that girl went to it was Debbie Allen. They was gonna get married and they went to that hotel and it had a vibrating bed and he was like, I'll spring a quarter for the vibrating bed, and she was all upset because she had left her drugs, at the house because her and Thelma they had the wrong purse. It was just a mess. But I just saw that and I'm like, okay, that's what it made me think of. A vibrating bed was a old cheap hotel. That's what it made
Yeah.
me think of.
yeah,
In the
right,
70s. Ain't that something? We going
right.
way back, and he wasn't even born then.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right? Like it's just out of all the things, and he's so proud of it, and I'm like, ew. It kind of makes me think like you're like a whole hoe, right? Like a ho ho, like a paid one. Like you know what I mean? Like why
Oh,
would you
oh
have
boy.
this? It's
Or
so
a
weird to me.
hobo. A hobo.
Yeah, well, no,
Mhm.
that the broken wall makes me think he's a hobo.
He's a hobo.
Like,
Yeah, he got the house cheap. Hey, that's what it was. Yeah.
hey now, I mean, I wouldn't knock it if I thought any of it was real, which I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
at all whatsoever. But gentlemen, fine. If it's true that while you were in prison, okay, I'm gonna spell it out. You were in prison, you had a girl before that you had established something with for 3 years, you had already had a kid together, she said she was gonna stay with you, and let's say for argument's sake, she never lied to you necessarily. So she told you obviously she was in other relationships because you said as much. But she also said she was holding it down. So when you come back, she'll be with you, but she got to get her itches scratched in the meantime. Okay. And then you get out of prison and you are really trying. You are really working hard to get life back on track, and she is overtly disrespecting you. She kicks you out on the street, blah, blah, blah. And it's not because of anything you did wrong. You should be done with her. You shouldn't be focusing on her anymore. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be. No, because you know what? She wasn't shit. She showed you what she was made out of. She showed you that when times get very hard, she wants nothing to do with you, which means, you know what? Y'all don't have a strong enough bond and connection. Y'all are together working hard to build this for life. Because if you were, I've seen it. I've seen women hold their man down while their man was in prison for years. Didn't touch nobody at all. If anything, they got a second job so they could fill the man's canteen all the time. So I've seen it. So, at the end of the day, when she started sleeping with other people, she was already telling you, like, bro, you're not that serious. Like, like, I know we have a kid and everything, but you're not that serious. So if you're in this situation, if you need therapy, get therapy. But ultimately, you should be done with that girl. You shouldn't even be thinking about her anymore, uh, at all. Period.
Right.
You should be building yourself up. So when you go to court, you have real things that you've earned, not, I own 3 houses and 3 cars, and 3 businesses and 3 this and 3. No, go get some real stuff. Go get your own place and da 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 da. So that way, when you go to court, you can get yourself the joint custody that you deserve. Like, it's crazy. Just crazy.
Yeah, because I think he'll be going back, so he definitely don't need her because she's not going to be
Hmm.
waiting. So
No, 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 no,
that's for
definitely
certain.
not. No, no. She probably all forgot his number already.
Okay.
Where's your baby daddy? Oh yeah, I do have one of those. I don't know. Right? She's thinking about that man no more. Mm-mm.
Doesn't sound like she's losing not a bit of sleep right about
No.
now when it comes to him. And
Mm-mm.
he knows it. She's not losing
Right.
any sleep. She's just moved on, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Mm-hmm.
I said, he didn't even say thank you. Thank you for giving me a place to
Right.
stay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I really just have a problem with that. It's the quote unquote sense of entitlement.
Yep.
I'm your baby daddy. Give me a place to stay. Oh, you know what? It's not working out. You got to go. What? And she kicked me out. I wonder
Mm.
why. I wonder
Yeah.
Right.
why.
Didn't even go to
Mm-hmm.
his mother home. Isn't that interesting? But okay.
Right.
I'm going to leave
Yep.
that alone.
Yep. I absolutely agree. Absolutely. Someone who's so entitled and has no thankfulness in their heart. Like even when you're mad, even if they do something wrong, you got to give credit where credit's due, right?
Right.
And it's like the fact that he didn't, yeah, he's not a man of integrity. And it's probably because he's never owned anything in his life. He's never been worth something to understand what it means to do something like that for someone. Do you know what I mean? He's never done it, so he really doesn't relate. And that tells you that man has no business being in a relationship. Ladies, I don't know if you somehow come across this, please don't call that man. Leave him alone.
Yes, just leave them alone.
Hmm.
Well, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. Thank you for your support. And tomorrow we have article reaction at 6:30 p.m. Central
Hmm.
Standard Time. Hope for you
Hmm.
guys to tune in. We got that Ken and Karen segment. Oh
All
yeah,
right.
it be going
Hmm.
on. So please tune in. And I'll say it just to say it. If you got a letter and got a friend, hint hint, that needs a little
Hmm.
advice, hey, give me an email at JustAskChar. What's my name? JustAskChar at gmail.com. You can email me there,
Hmm.
and we'll get it on the air for you. No worries.
Hmm. Don't worry, it
And
Send
remains
it.
totally confidential. Totally She
Send
doesn't
it
even
in
tell me.
and
Okay?
let
I
us
don't know who's
discuss
from.
it.
Hmm. Listen, y'all, for those of y'all who have these problems, but you're like, I don't want to get on other panels because then I have to expose myself. Nope, the letter's completely confidential. Nobody will know the email address, the identity in any way of who sent the letter. So that means you can get completely confidential advice and just listen from the clouds or watch Play Black if you really, really don't want to be seen. It's all right. Shar tells nobody nothing. I know because I tried. Shar ain't telling nobody nothing. So the
nobody, baby, keep sweat over here. Nobody.
exactly. Mhm. Mhm.
So you guys be safe, and I hope to see you guys tomorrow.
Mhm.
Tune in, please. And until then, good night and peace, everyone.
Cheers, y'all.
Peace out, family.